everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. So, yesterday, you guys know I did a whole bunch of reacts. I reacted to Neo Tarot, I did a react to Sunburst Tarot, and I did two of Foodie Beauty. And my plan was to do a few reacts per day until I was all caught up with Foodie, and then I would just be reacting to her current content. So I did four React videos. And then by the time I was done, it was a bit late and I had other work to do. So I did the work and then I came back online to see what was going on YouTube to see if anybody was live and I could just go into a live and enjoy myself. And then I found out that all heck was breaking loose because Foodie was on a live and she was ragey and she essentially was on her live telling people that she was thinking already of rehoming Smokey the cat. She went on her live and said that she just couldn't handle it, that she was overwhelmed, that she just wanted to focus on herself, blah, blah, blah. And of course, as you can imagine, people in girl world were angry at her because a lot of people told her you really don't need to be getting another cat, especially this soon. You just moved in, you're discombobulated, you're doing the chemical, like you're not in the right place to take care of a pet. And considering her history of taking care of animals, in my opinion, she shouldn't have animals at all. If she is someone that she doesn't know what she's doing from day to day, if she doesn't have a plan about what her life is going to be, where she's going to go, what's going on, she shouldn't have a pet. She should not bring a living being close to her that will depend on her if she can't depend on herself. So people in girl world were upset with her, angry. People in her own chat were upset and angry and going off on her. A lot of beaters were going off on her. And Chantal was raging and blocking a lot of people. Here are my thoughts on the whole situation. When it comes to someone like Foodie Beauty, Chantal, because of her being so incredibly manipulative, because she is such a liar, and she likes to say things to infuriate people. She likes to do things to get people angry. She really gets off on that. She really gets off on angering people. It does something for her. You got to look at things through different colored lenses, trying to find out what the motivations are, like what she's really up to. You just have to. And Foodie, I will say this to you. Once upon a time, reacting to you was a bit more fun. It was that you were silly, you were weird, you were wacky. Yes, you did outrageous things that made people mad. Yes, you said things that made people mad, but there were elements of fun mixed up in it. And people enjoyed watching you. But the fun part is missing. It really is. It seems like all you focus on now is kicking up the dust and kicking the hornet's nest. And then when people respond in kind, then you get upset and you're like, people are after me and people are bullying me. And yet there you are over there deliberately doing things to get people angry. So you deliberately do things to get people mad. And then when they get mad, you complain about that. And this whole thing of getting Smokey the cat, you did that out of spite. You totally got the cat out of spite. In my opinion, you were still angry about the trouble that you got into in Kuwait. And so you got another cat out of spite, flipping girl world and everybody else the middle finger because your sweet deal got interrupted. You being in Kuwait and escaping from your taxes and setting up your little love nest and eating cheaper food and having Salah go get stuff for you, that sweet little love nest deal that you had got interrupted and got ruined. And I don't think you can go back to Kuwait, no matter what you say. I don't think you can go back. I don't think you want to go back because if you went back, you'd be under the microscope and you know it. And that's something that you're not comfortable with, but you're mad about that. So you came back to Canada and you got a cat And immediately you were using it for attention, to get attention for yourself. You were using that poor thing to grift people for money and to get free stuff off Amazon. And now you're coming forward and saying, I don't want the cat anymore. I will say one positive thing in your favor, Foodie. It is better that you spoke up right now and say, I can't handle the cat, and I'm thinking of rehoming, and actually rehome the cat to somebody who will take care of Smokey, who will see to his needs, maybe put him on a special diet so that he can lose weight and be healthier, or maybe he can be in an environment like, say, at a farm or something. He can be a barn cat and he can spray and it won't be a problem. It's better that you speak up now and say something rather than have the cat around you and be resentful and neglect the cat even further and make it unhappy and make yourself unhappy. You know, yeah, you had to know that by saying that you want to rehome Smokey, you know you were going to get it. And you did. And you're probably still going to get egg on your face for a long time because of this, because people told you, don't get the cat. Just as they told you back in Kuwait, don't take the kitten away from its mother, and you did anyway. You see how that works? People were giving you advice and you didn't want to listen, and things happened as a result because you didn't want to listen, because you're impulsive and because you're defiant. And situation happened in Kuwait, and here we are again with Smokey. But I think that it's a good thing that you are speaking up, and I really do hope that you can find someone, an organization, a group, a person that will be much more sensitive to Smokey's needs and be able to give Smokey a great home, because even if you kept Smokey, I don't think you'd be able to provide a good home for him. You're in bad health, and who knows what's going to happen to you. So you don't need any animals around you. So I would follow through with contacting an organization, a group, a person to rehome Smokey. I think it'll be in the cat's best interest and your best interest as well. Okay. So I am all for her finding another home for Smokey, because we know how she is with taking care of a cat. And before I forget, and this is just a separate side issue, somebody in my comments let me know that YouTube is going absolutely bonkers with putting ads on my videos. I want to let all of you know that when I monetize a video, I try to stop YouTube from putting so many ads on my videos. I go into the section when you can manually put ads on a video. And the way I was doing it, I only put an ad every, say, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So each of my videos had like maybe 4 or 5 ads or 6 max during the 2 or 3 hour reacts that I would do. But I was told that YouTube, they're putting extra ads on top of that. So I apologize if you guys are seeing extra ads and it's extra irritating. But YouTube did say a while back they were going to start doing that. They were just going to place their own ads on things. But I want to let you guys know that's not me. I'm not going crazy with the ads. They are. So enough about the YouTube stuff. We're going to get into her live stream, and we're going to get into the Twitter peeps, because you had to know the girl world was on fire last night. A lot of people had things to say. And I know what Chantal wants. I know that she wants everyone to get upset. She wants everyone to go bananas. She wants everyone to lose their minds and maybe say things in their lives or their videos that go against the terms of service and gets us in trouble. I'm not going to do that, Foodie. And I also encourage everyone within the sound of my voice, if you're someone that you are seeing all the stuff going on with Chantal and the animals, another thing that Foodie might be doing is she might be trying to troll for rage super chats. She wants people to get mad and send her money, because she made a lot of money back in the day doing that. Again, I know she makes you mad. I say don't give into the rage that way. Don't give her money for making you mad. It benefits her. It will not benefit you, and nothing you have to say is going to change her mind or get her upset or make her into a better person. So with that said, how about we just get into the Twitter peeps and then get on with our live stream? Let's go, y'all. All right, so it's time for the Twitter peeps. Let me just make sure I am where I need to be. I am. And we might be here a minute on the Twitter peeps because, again, Girl World was on fire. I got done with my other work and I came back to YouTube and I'm like, what the heck is going on? What is she doing now? What is she doing now? Here's another theory, tinfoil hat theory. I'm just going to throw it on the table. I was talking to somebody last night about things, someone connected to Girl World. I'm not saying who, a friend of mine that we've known each other for years, dear friend. And she said this, and I agree. She said to me that Chantal, she just feeds off of rage. She feeds off of negativity. And she thought that she would get a bigger rage response by getting Smokey. She thought everybody would just lose their minds over Smokey. But what Chantal is not understanding is that she's done so much over the course of the 8 years that she's been on YouTube that there's a lot of things that we are desensitized to. Like, we are so familiar with her patterns that there's not much she can do to surprise us or really get us riled up. And I think that's why she keeps going back to the animal stuff, because she knows how caring and how sensitive Girl World is when it comes to animals. But you know what, Chantal? That is a bad route to take if you want attention, because by trying to kick up the dust with Girl World, you are also going to be turning off people in your own audience, and you're going to be losing subscribers and super chats and everything. So in essence, in a very harmful, toxic way, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. There were a lot of beaters that were turned off by you last night. There were a lot of people quitting your channel. There were a lot of people that you were blocking because all they did was voice their opinions and you just got mad. It was bad all the way around. This is not good. Trying to use animals to get attention, to get people angry, to get the attention of Girl World and get them reacting to you because you're hoping that if they react to you, that you'll get extra views and extra money. If you want extra views and extra money, all you have to do is make entertaining content. I know you know how. You're just not doing it because you're too doggone lazy. And you try to use other living things to make you money and to get attention, where you can just use yourself. Just be yourself. You want to know of something that would shock Girl World that you haven't shown us yet? Give us the truth. Get real. That is something you've never shown us. You've always hidden behind fake personas and fake characters and fake baby voices. Drop the act and just be yourself. Let this be the get real arc. I know you probably won't because you got a problem with truth. The lying is second nature to you. But if you want to shock us, that's the way you can do it. And you don't need Salah. You don't need Natter. You don't need anybody. Just come online and confess to all the lies you ever told us and all the things you ever did. Just be real. That would shock the crap out of us. Anyway, let's get on with the Twitter peeps. I'm just going off on tangents. I got a soapbox like nobody's business today. Let's do the Twitter peeps. So Perfectly Imperfect says Foodie Beauty adopted Smokey, ignored every warning, called us delusional, deranged, even the R word. Not 24 hours later, she's sobbing on live, blaming the cat for not bonding and claiming we wanted this. No, girl, we begged you not to. You're not a victim. You're a narcissistic gaslighter on repeat. And we already know you'll try again in a few weeks. Kitten, long-haired female, we've seen this arc. You're not unpredictable. You're just irresponsible. Well said. Well said. You know, Chantal's a content creator and she should be focused on making great content. And there's all things she could do to make that happen. There's all kinds of ideas that she could do. I mean, she's in her own place now. There's so many possibilities with that place and things she could do inside and outside the home, but she keeps falling back on the same tactics. And that is the problem. Like, she's a scammer. And if you're a scammer, like, one of the rules of being a scammer is if you pull a scam, if you create a game and the victims or the people or the marks that you're trying to scam, they catch on to the game. Once they do, the game is over. You got to find a different game. You got to find a different scam. And Foodie keeps doing the same things over and over. And yeah, we've caught on to a lot of her stuff. We're not stupid. We are not stupid, Chantal. And another thing, this is just my opinion. Given Foodie's behavior, the way she's been acting lately, I honestly feel that it would be to her benefit if she were to spend some time in a hospital and or a mental facility. Because in my opinion, she is a danger to herself and others. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. Let's keep going. So, what was I saying? I got a message, sorry, and I got sidetracked. Anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. She shouldn't have gotten the cat in the first place. And she got the cat for all the wrong reasons. She got the cat because she was lonely. She got the cat because she wanted attention for herself. And I think it made her upset that Smokey the cat was getting more attention and people were buying stuff on her Amazon wish list, more so for him than for her. And you guys are going to hear in the live stream that she, in her words, was using the cat to fill the void of the emptiness rather than find other things to fill the void. She's not in a good way right now. She's also back on the hard party favors, shall we say. We know for certain, confirmed, that she's doing the edibles. In my opinion, she's doing something harder than the edibles. Like, she's just been rubbing at her nose, sniffing a lot. Her pupils are blasted, and she's getting the natitude. For those who were not present during Crackhead Olympics, what is the natitude? The natitude is the attitude that she would have the very next day. Her and Natter would party on the party favors at night. And then the crash from doing too much Coca-Cola will give her this really nasty attitude. Also in the live, one thing you guys are probably going to pick up, she sounds really stuffy. That was another thing she did during Crackhead Olympics. Whenever she did too much Coca-Cola, she would get all stuffy and stuffed up, and sometimes her throat would hurt. So it's obvious she's doing more than edibles. And if she is not in a good place mentally, not in a good place physically, on the hard chemicals, she's scattered all over the place in every way, she doesn't need to have a pet. So I support her rehoming Smokey because it would be best for the animal. It really would be. All right. Florida Salt and Sass says she's expecting a cat who's been rehomed 3 times to bind with her in 24 hours. Seriously? That's why she shouldn't have pets. Yes. You know what? A word about that. Even people who go to, say, animal shelters or foster an animal, cats, dogs, whatever, you have to consider the state of that animal. They could be healthy, they could be not unhealthy. But just imagine being an animal and you're scared, you may be depressed, like you're in a cage or locked up for a long time, and then you're taken to a new environment. Everything smells strange to you. You're in a new space that you're unsure of. You're around someone that you're unsure of. Yeah, you're going to be scared. And if you bring home a dog or a cat, it may take quite a while for them to adjust to their surroundings and understand that they are safe, that they are being taken care of, that the person that they're around is no danger. It's going to take more than a couple of days for the animal to fully adjust. And yet Foodie, she's expecting too much out of Smokey, in my opinion. She's expecting this cat who's been rehomed 3 times. This poor baby has been moved around so much, who's unsure about himself, to just act like a stuffed animal and be all over her and be cuddly and bond to her. Chantal, bonding with an animal takes time. It really does take time. I mean, Booger Cat she doesn't just love me, she's bonded to me, but that took years to accomplish. She loved me. It was love at first sight for her and me. But the bonding happened over years of taking care of her and loving her. It didn't happen overnight. Okay. Okay. So you are wanting a cat to just be your shadow and be all over you. But I don't think it's because you are a cat lover. I think it's because you wanted people on camera to see, like, he loves me so much, he loves me so much, he loves me so much. You want it to be all about you. When you decided to take in a cat that was obese, that needed special care, you were thinking all about you and your needs versus the needs of the animal. And again, that's why you should not have a cat, period. Florida Salt and Sass says, bees are awakening. So I got words about this, okay? Life with Ron is someone who supports Chantal. He's given her lots of money. He's done lots of gifted memberships on her channel. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him and I can't pick him up. Life with Ron, AKA Sofa King. Yeah, I remember you, Life with Ron, you and Plain Cheeseburger and Ashley Lamborghini going into everybody's chats and acting the fool because you hardcore supported Foodie at the time. I remember you. Like you're two-faced, bro. Like you flip-flop as much as Foodie does. But Life with Ron sent a super chat last night. Allegedly, he was mad at Chantal. I don't know if I completely believe that. It might be an act. Life with Ron says, geez, cats are not some t-shirt you can leave on the floor and ignore or just return because it does not fit. I totally see what they say now with you and the animals, poor cat. Look, the words that he's saying, I'm not going to argue against what he's saying. He's right. Like, cats, dogs, pets are not objects to be thrown around and forgotten about and neglected. He's right. But I'm just questioning his motives. All the things that he said with Foodie, all the things he's seen her do. And this is the thing that tipped over the apple cart. No, I don't think he's a friend of girl world. I think he might have been mad in the moment or not. That remains to be seen. But this could be an act. This could be an act. Like I am not pro Life with Ron. Nope. You're a flip-flopper, Ron. You are a flip-flopper. And you're going to stay a flip-flopper. Milkers says, had to redo this because there's so many pets that I forgot some. Pets that she's gone through in 3 years. Timbit. Well, Timbit was Pete's cat. That was not Chantal's cat. They never owned Timbit together. Timbit belonged to Pete's. And unfortunately, Timbit wasn't well taken care of by Pete's. BBJ, Sam, Julia, Mary. And for those who are wondering, who is Mary? Mary was the other hamster that Chantal got that was going to be a companion to Harry. But then Mary had to be taken back because people were pointing out, Mary can get pregnant because you got 2 hamsters in the same cage. And what do you think they're going to do? Howie, Julia, Bruce, Smokey. Can a beezer look me in the eye and tell me that this is normal? No, it's not normal. It isn't. To go through that many pets within a space of a few years is definitely not normal. And it's not right either. Every single one of them suffered. Ghost Crab says Chantal getting a specific cat because he is sick and fat like her, and 24 hours later turning around and not wanting the cat anymore because he is sick and fat is just peak irony. So she chose a cat who had aspects that also applied to her. She wanted a cat that was fat and obese because she's fat and obese. And maybe she felt like by having a cat that's got the same physical conditions that I do, that it kind of fits better with her. And yet she rejected Smokey. And she also got upset with Smokey because Smokey is upset. He is stressed out, crying all the time. And rather than do what most normal people would do and go online and search out answers, why is this cat crying? What can I do about it? Is there anything I can do to soothe him to where he's not upset? Like, what are the reasons why he might be so upset? How can I fix this? No, her automatic response is that she's going to give him up. Because when something gets too hard or something gets a bit stressful, her first response, her knee-jerk reaction is to give up on it. And that is Chantal. All right. This is something nice. Content that'll heal your depression. We don't deserve cats. Look at the babies. Look. Aw. Now these are cats that are bonded to their owners. Like, I'm just going to come up and cuddle next to you. I'm going to cuddle. I love cats. That's so sweet. Look. That'll put a smile on your face. All right. Deb says she got the reaction she wanted when getting Smokey. But then as soon as reality kicked in, her plan failed. She used this cat again to get money from her stupid beezers. How do they not see her for what she is? It's bonkers. In less than a month, she has abandoned 2 cats. Yep, she sure has. Unfortunately, some of the beezers are not smart. They're just not catching on to the grift gang. Blah, blah, blah. They're just not catching on to the grift game that she's got going on. Get an animal, keep it around her for a short period of time, get some Amazon stuff, get some money stuff through PayPal, and then when people stop sending money, abandon the animal. Just use it for a short period of time to create outrage, get views, get subscribers, get money, get gifts, and then let it go. Like that's the game. That's been the game for a while. Like she doesn't want to work on herself for her content. She wants an animal to do all the work for her and bring her all the money. Indy says, told y'all Foodie Beauty was a psychopath. And DX on Twitter gives us the recaps of the lives. And it looks like this is part of what was said during the live. So DX says, saying, oh, wow, she's really mad. Quote, if I wanted to discard him, you dumb F, I would discard him on the road. Saying she needs to think of new drama to get us to stop focusing on regular human things. All right. Let's talk about the first part of that. Chantal, even if you wanted to discard Smokey on the side of the road, which would be absolutely heartless, you're not going to. And I'll tell you why. Because if you did, that would absolutely tank your channel. People would be asking questions. And the people that are in your audience, the ones that you used animals around you to attract to your channel for the sake of views and money and super chats, they would all disappear and you don't have many people left. Your average amount of viewers anymore is like 300, 400, 500. Unless you're raging, then it gets bumped up by a lot. But when you're normally boring, you don't have that many people. And that's why you don't do members only lives any longer, because there's not enough members, or people just don't watch them because there's nothing interesting going on there. But abandoning an animal on the side of the road would invite questions, would invite a bunch of outrage, not just from Girl World, but on your channel. So you can't do that. Now, the second part, saying that she needs to think of new drama to get us to stop focusing on regular human things. So, are you telling on yourself, Foodie? It sounds like you're telling on yourself that when you're off camera, you're trying to think of ways to make money and to get the attention of girl world. That kind of sounds like a confession to me. That you're not thinking of what can I do to make great, entertaining content, maybe even evergreen content. No. Let's go for the cheap tricks. Let's go for the toxicity. Let's go for things that really get people upset to make a little bit of coin really, really quickly. Well, some tactics are coming back to bite you in the butt, like the whole situation with Smokey. Acadia Strong says, Foodie has always run away from situations that required work. If it's not gratifying to her, then it's not good. That poor cat should never have been given to her. I agree. And she wants that quick gratification. She wants that quick self-pleasure. And if there's anything or anyone around her that don't add to that, then it's not worth her time. Hence the reason why she should be alone. For a long time, she needs to work on herself and stop just pulling people into her orbit that end up getting hurt. Whether it's cats or people, if it's got a heartbeat, it doesn't need to be around Foodie right now. Sandy, what's a visa run quesadilla, says the cat's been here for 2 days. If he finds a better home, so what? Voluntary deportation and giving up the cat? Is this growth? I don't know. Shenanigan says, of course, Chantal is the victim in all of this. And this is from the live that I'm going to be reacting to. So let's see what she has to say.
Nobody knows how I feel. Like, you guys have no idea what it was like. It happened so fast. People messing with your fucking life, with your family. So you have to leave the country.
Already she's doing the narcissist thing. What I tell y'all. In every story, a narcissist has to be either the victim or the hero. So right now she's the victim. She's painting herself the victim. She's like, you guys don't know how I feel and I'm hurting so badly. Let's talk about how Smokey feels. He's been rehomed 3 times. He's confused. He's sad. He's wondering what's going on. He's wondering why he can't find a forever home that will be forever, where he can stop being confused and he can start feeling loved. The bouncing around, the feeling unwanted. What about him? No, it's all about you, right? It's all about you.
Very quickly. The next day, you have to leave your home you've been at for 3 years. Move somewhere alone. Depressed as fuck. You miss your family.
And what put all of that in play, Foodie? Why did that happen? What caused it? It was because you were in Kuwait and you were doing way too much, and you thought because you were a tourist and you were on YouTube and Kuwait did not know about your channel nor the things that you were doing, that you could do whatever you wanted so long as your name wasn't on the lease, so long as your name wasn't on the car lease. You felt that you were hidden and you could get away with whatever you wanted to do. And then once they found out about you and what you were doing, you fled. You were out the door. You did not wait around to see what would happen. You ran. So can you get mad at Girl World or anybody else for what happened to you when you were the one who caused it to happen in the first place? If you had simply gone to Kuwait and behaved yourself and followed the laws and regulations and respected the people and not filmed children, not filmed adults, not filmed graveyard sites, not filmed oil fields, not done a lot of things, you'd probably still be over there right now, sitting pretty with no fear of trouble, but you caused a bunch of trouble and you got in trouble. You effed around and then you had to find out.
And it's still sinking in. I'm still taking it all in. And I thought that I want a cat. Like, I don't want to live without a cat. But I'm realizing that the responsible thing to do is not have one right now because I'm not well. So if you want to shame me for that, go fuck yourself.
Again, I will agree with Chantal. I rarely agree with her. But on this rare occasion, I will agree with her. She is not well. She's not well physically. She is not well mentally or emotionally. She is unstable AF. She doesn't need to have a pet. So we agree today, Chantal. We agree. I'm not going to argue with you. We agree. You are not well. You are unstable. You are unhealthy. If something happened to you physically tomorrow or today, what would happen to whatever pet you'd have in your care? They would be without a home again. So I will give you credit for coming forward and saying, I'm thinking of rehoming the pet. And I hope that you do. I hope you find an organization or a person that will give Smokey everything that he needs because you can't. And if you're over there indulging in the party favors and that's all you care to do, you want to get lost in chemicals, that's another reason not to have a pet around. Because we saw what your life was the last time when you were in Canada, the life that you were leading at the Canadian villa, hotboxing the place, smoking the green sticks, doing the edibles, doing so many of them that you were basically incoherent. Yeah, you don't need a pet around for none of that.
Seriously, just get the fuck out of here. If you just want to shame me when I'm going through a really fucking hard time and you want me to drag a cat into that, he's been here 2 days. If he finds a better home, so what?
I hope he does. I really, really hope he does. And I hope that there's a lesson in all of this for you, Foodie, that you need to focus on yourself and you need to leave animals alone. Stop dragging animals into your mess. You got a big enough mess. You need to get a big broom and clean it up. You don't need to bring things to you that are alive that would depend on you if you are undependable. I hope that's the lesson that you learn from this. Perfectly Imperfect says Foodie Beauty abandoned 4 cats in 3 years. How can she sleep at night? Well, because she has no soul. Girl Scout says she chose wheelchairs and fast food takeout over a cat because she's broke. She's a broke ass beach. Once again, gets a cat on impulse for a quick dopamine hit, content, and to fill the huge void in her life. Then abandons the cat within 2 days. Smokey isn't the problem, Foodie. You are. Yeah, all the many pets that she's abandoned and she's left behind and she's neglected, what do they all have in common? Her. They have her in common. Like we get you when you got to look at the history of things that have happened and the patterns that are there. And she's got a pattern of not being a good pet owner. And that's why Girl World gets so upset. We know her on that level. We know she's an uncaring person. She's neglectful of herself and even more so to animals. And that's why we get mad. Fondue Spider Beach says Foodie Beauty bragging about having 7 bags of edibles while begging for housewares money on your PayPal exposed your priorities and how broke you really aren't. You are an embarrassment to Islam, you clown. Well, I said so. Like, she's not as broke as she appears to be. If she's over there buying fast food, if she is buying 7 bags of edibles, she's got money. She's got money, y'all. She doesn't want to spend her money. She wants everybody else to spend their money on her. And because that's what scammers do. They'll appear broke, they'll cry broke, but they're really not broke. Foop Olympic says every reason Chantal is giving for not being able to keep the cat, it's too soon, she just left Julia, etc., are the same reasons people literally warned her about before she got the cat. And she told him to F off, like maybe listen next time. Chantal's hard-headed and stubborn and defiant. She will never listen, unfortunately. Ash Renee says, Chantal, no one cares about what you went through, as it was you who made the decision to Canada Beast for life and left. You are not the victim here. You are the perpetrator and flaunt your childish behavior proudly. Living with yourself is your karma. Yep, she's living her own misery, and I am here for it. But let's watch the clip.
Anything.
Oh, that was really short.
I know people just act like what I went through. Oh well, suck it up. Who cares? Nobody cares about your feelings. Smokey, Smokey. Like shut up. You don't.
Chantal, it sounds like you're really mad that people feel more pity and sympathy and compassion and humanity for the cat than they do for you. Like people are throwing all of their sympathy and pity towards the cat, and you're mad because it's not coming towards you. Like feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for me. I want your attention. Don't focus on the cat. Focus on me. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Like, I want all the attention. I want everyone to feel sorry for me. Look at me. I'm in an apartment and I'm allegedly suffering, even though I'm not. And I'm broke, even though I'm really not. Feel sorry for me. Send me your money. That's the vibe I'm picking up. Like, don't feel sorry for the cat. Me, 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 me. That's what's going on here.
Don't know anything.
So you can be sour all you want to. Like, of course, people are going to feel sorry more so for a pet than you. You are a grown adult woman. You can do with your life as you will. You can go anywhere you want. Unfortunately, the cat can't go anywhere. It's trapped with you and it has no choice but to be there. You have a choice. You always have a choice. So you're an adult, not a toddler. No one's going to side with you. All right. So Don't Fence Me In says, if Chantal rehomes Smokey, are efforts going to continue to prevent her from acquiring another helpless cat? Who needs to be contacted? Can we get ahead of this? Is there a cat signal we could throw up to warn Canada that she's back on the cat market? Well, I did hear that a lot of people are phoning up different organizations and groups in Canada, letting them know about Chantal to kind of block her from getting another cat. And I support that. I support people stepping forward and contacting different groups because it's about preventing harm to a living thing. And if Chantal gets another cat from an organization or group, you got to know that animal is going to be harmed and neglected and mistreated because that's who she is. So if anybody can block that, I'm all for that. She doesn't need to have an animal. And the harder we make it on her, the less likely chance she can get one. And it's better for the animals in general. Shenanigans says Chantal wants to get rid of Smokey already. Let's watch.
It's a little much sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just having some thoughts, and I really was against bringing it to the internet at first, and then I thought, if nobody was honest about their feelings or thoughts or their expressions based on fear of being criticized, nobody would ever say anything important.
You know what, Chantal? I guarantee you the reason why you did this live stream last night is because you were in quite the pickle, weren't you? Smokey's with you. He's meowing. He's spraying. You created that whole mess of bringing a cat to you without getting the understanding of how to care for it, what to do if the cat is in stress and acting out of stress. How do I fix this? You didn't seek out knowledge. You didn't talk to people. All you knew was, I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out and I'm uncomfortable and I don't like it. And you knew you couldn't put the cat on the side of the road. You couldn't just make the cat disappear. So you're like, how can I fix this? I've got to talk to my chat about what to do with it. And you were also putting your toes in the water to see how they would react, and they were not happy. But that was your fault. That was your mistake because you chose to bring Smokey onto YouTube and talk about him and monetize him and show him. You put him in full view of the public. So guess what? The public has a right to their opinions, and they have a right to know since you involved him on your channel. And also, since you used the cat to try to make money. And I'm sure you've got money because of Smokey, and you've gotten stuff off your Amazon wish list. So since you've gone that far and you're using poor Smokey for profit, even though he hasn't even been there a week, yeah, people got a right to know what's going on. If they're giving up their hard-earned money and they're giving you views and such, they got a right to know. So you knew you had to do this tonight.
Or anything that's really on their mind. It would all just be friggin' glazed over, shellacked, fake bullshit. And I don't want to be like that. You know, I want to.
But you are fake. You are fake. And that's the entire problem. This right here is why your channel has gone downhill. That's why your views are not cutting anymore. That's why your money has gone down, because as time has gone on, you've gotten more and more phony and fake. Once upon a time, you were Chantal Marie. You were kind of a normal person. You were still wacky and weird and strange, but there were normal elements there. A lot of people got into your channel years ago because you seemed relatable. Now you're not relatable. Now you keep bringing up personas and characters that people can't relate to, and you insist on telling lies, and the fakery and the fraudery of it all is what's ruined you and ruined your channel, because you insist on living in a persona versus just being your doggone self. That's why people are disinterested, because you are bored, because some time ago, you reached a point with your channel where you made enough money. You're like, I don't have to work anymore. I can just survive off the YouTube, Google AdSense money. I don't have to care about my audience. I don't have to care about my channel. I could just float on the Google AdSense and be fine. Once you reach that point, you stopped caring, and you stopped working, and you stopped thinking, and you stopped being creative. And you became more and more boring, because you figured out you could point a camera at the wall and film it, and YouTube would place ads on the video and you'd still make money. So therefore, there was no need to try. And you didn't. And you didn't. You just don't. You absolutely don't. And the money goes down, and your food addiction is going up. The money you need to support your food addiction is going up. So you've got this imbalance of, I got very little money over here and a big old food addiction over here, and it requires a lot of money. So where does that money come from? How am I going to get it? I know I'm going to go to the audience. I'm going to grip the crap out of them. I'm going to milk them for every dime, dollar, nickel, and penny I can get out of them, rather than just make great videos and do great lives. You come up with all these quick money schemes and scamming and conning, and people are sick of it. They're sick of being milked to death. But you still haven't gotten it through your head. And when you don't get what you want out of people because you scam them too much, then you get mad and you gaslight and you lie and you rage and you block. It's a toxic cycle. It is a toxic cycle. You bring people and pets to you, you use them within an inch of their life, and then when they no longer serve a purpose, you throw them away. And you wonder why you're sitting there in that apartment all alone, and there's nobody there to come over and hang out and do things with you. You wonder why your life lacks happiness and fulfillment, is because, Chantal, you created that selfish void in which you live in. Tell me I'm wrong.
I just fucking say what I want to say. And so I'm going to get judged, because I get judged on everything. So it really doesn't matter anymore.
You wouldn't get judged on everything if you didn't put everything online. Hello. You don't have a personal life. You don't keep things to yourself. You don't live life as Chantal Marie off camera. You want to be Foodie Beauty all the time, because Foodie Beauty has things that Chantal Marie does not. Foodie Beauty, the persona, can turn on a camera anytime and people will talk to her. Foodie Beauty can get money out of people. People actually care about Foodie Beauty. But you know the reason why Chantal Marie doesn't have that stuff? Because Chantal Marie doesn't work for that stuff. Doesn't work. Everywhere you go, you're a burden. You're a burden to everyone around you. You are a problem. You bring your problems to them and you say, here's 1,000 pounds of problems that are mine. Solve them for me. Even though I'm an adult and I should be working on myself, solve my problems for me. And you wonder why people get stressed out and don't hang around you, because you're not a relaxing, easy, fun, humorous, great person to be around. You're just the opposite. You're selfish, you're toxic, you're self-centered, you're narcissistic, you're horrible, you're putrid, Your bad energy makes other people sick, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that. And to keep themselves from getting sick, they have to stay away from you. And that also applies to animals as well. Animals get around you, they get sick. People get around you, they get sick. Your family gets around you, they get stressed out. I bet your family got stressed out when you came back. I bet they were mad. I bet they're still mad because you're home and you're going to be a problem. You're probably calling them on the phone. Can I borrow money? Can I this? Can I that? Can I this? Can I that? And I bet your mom, every time you make a phone call like that, she's like, what have I raised? She's 41 and she's still acting like a 4-year-old. What did I raise? You know, she's tired. You know, your stepdad is tired. Your sister is tired. Your family is tired of you and your nonsense. And they wish you would just wake up and be a freaking adult and get it together. But you won't, because you rely on that safety net to catch you when you fall. And the kindest thing that people need to do with you is to let you fall and let you learn. That's your problem, that you haven't learned yet. And people just need to let you learn. It's okay to hurt. It is okay to scrape your knees. It is okay to go through hardships, because they make you stronger. They make you wiser. They make you more experienced. How are you going to get the wisdom, the experience, and the knowledge without hard times? Hard times are the hardest teachers, but they are the best teachers. I know this for a fact. I've learned a lot going through hard times. You need to go through a few.
But I just want to say what's on my mind, okay? And I'm being 100% honest about how I feel. It's not easy for me to say how I feel right now. I didn't know how this would go. I had a suspicion I would be very depressed being separated from Salah and Julia. And obviously, because I love them, they were my family, and, you know, they are my family.
Chantal, you need to get it through your head. You will never see Salah ever again. And you will never see Julia ever again. And to be honest, you don't need to see them again. You made them both miserable. They made you miserable. You really didn't care about Julia. We know this because of the way you were treating her and the way she behaved. She was very, very sad. She wanted out of that apartment and away from you, and so did Salah. I bet he's partying right now in the Red Room. I bet he's calling up numbers and going out and having a drink and having a fine time without you, because his prison sentence being around you is finally over. If you think that Salah wants to be with you or is going to be with you, you're wrong. He's got family. I'm sure they've got things to say about that. And I really hope and I really pray that Julia is in a better place where she's being taken care of, properly taken care of. I'm sure the adjustment period is going to be hard for her because, again, going to a new place, being around people, it is hard on an animal. But in time, she'll heal and she'll find happiness. But meanwhile, on your side of the fence, all you're focusing on is what you lost. Like, I lost my home in Kuwait and the fake husband and the cat I really didn't care about. When you got this whole new life in Canada, and you can build from there and you can make something from there. And honestly, you should. It's time to stop running from stuff that you've done and the message you've caused, and start cleaning stuff up and getting yourself together. It's time. You're in your 40s, girl. Get it together. You can't rely on family and friends and beezers to pay your bills and pay your rent and be there for you, because they just can't. We all got responsibilities. We all got things to do. Got it? Thank you.
But I didn't know how bad I would be depressed, and how much the situation I'm in now made me realize how much work. Hi, Teardrop.
You know how you cut out some of that depression? Get out of the house. Go take a walk. Go explore the neighborhood, wherever that neighborhood is. See what's around you. Meet some people. You know, fill up the void with activities. Go in the sun. Let the sun shine on your face. Don't just sit in that room by yourself and do those doggone edibles. Didn't you do that in Canada? Weren't you doing that in the Canadian villa? Didn't you tell us that you were depressed all the time? Maybe if you want a different feeling, you got to do different things rather than follow the same old boring routine, which leads to cabin fever and drives you nuts. Maybe the solution is not to numb yourself out with edibles and so forth. Maybe instead of trying to fill the void with the wrong things, fill it with the right things, and you'll see a different result and you'll have a different feeling.
How much work, hi everybody, sorry, how much work I have to do on myself. And I remember like somebody coming in and being like, you know, come here, come here. It's selfish for you to get a cat. And now I kind of understand why. It's because I really am struggling right now badly to take care of myself.
Right. And that's why it was selfish, because you're in a place, you're not even in the routine of taking care of yourself. And you're in a place where you are depleted in every way. You are depleted. You got nothing mentally, emotionally, psychologically, physically. You got nothing. So if you got nothing to give, how can you give to a living thing? How can you properly take care of it? You can't even take care of yourself. If all you want to do is seal in your room and do edibles, and you want to focus only on that and spend hours just being greened out, how can you take care of an animal? You idiot. You can't. You absolutely cannot.
And then, I thought another thing is also like, I think I wanted like a rebound cat.
That's disturbing what she said. Referring to Smokey as a rebound cat. She is talking about the cat in human relationship terms. She's projecting part of herself on an animal that has nothing to do with human relations between her and Salah. Saying that's a rebound cat. Excuse me? As if you and Julia were in some sort of love relationship and you broke up. Girl, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Calling Smokey a rebound cat? Really? Really? Julia never really loved you. You were just there and you weren't nice to her, and you know you weren't nice to her. You didn't brush her. She was matted. When she went to the vet, you didn't put the cone on her and her stitches kept getting ripped out. It was a poop show. Okay? It was a poop show. Whenever I saw Julia, she looked sad to me. She looked like a very sad, get me out of here kind of animal. So I know, and she was never bonded to you. And honestly, out of you and Salah, she should have been bonded to you the most because you were there the most. And the fact that she wasn't says a lot. Like something's wrong with that. Something's up with that.
I know that sounds so awful, but like, because I'm missing Julia so much, I wanted to mask that with another.
I'm just going to say it. I think part of what Chantal's going through right now, she's a control freak and she can't stand it when those who are once under her control are no longer under her control. It makes her feel strong to be in control of people or animals. She's an out of control person and she doesn't want to control herself, but it makes her feel strong when she controls other living things, whether it's a person or an animal. And the fact that Salah is across the world and she can't control him, he's doing what he wants to do, and she can't control Julia anymore, is what's got her feeling so unstable. She doesn't know what Salah's doing. She doesn't know who he's talking to. She doesn't know what's going on. She can only speculate in her mind, and I'm sure that her mind is running into a million different directions, and it's driving her batty. That she can't be there acting as Salah's warden to see what he's doing. But Chantal, you need to let that go. He never loved you. He was never gonna love you. Even if you stayed in Kuwait for 10 more years, things would have been the same, probably worse. But there was never a chance of a love bond with him or Julia. So why are you still insisting on trying to hang on to a cat and a man that neither one wanted anything to do with you? Is it because you don't want to let go of the past because the present is scaring you to death? The fact that you're all alone and you've got to fill up your time with talking about other things. You can't use Julia and Salah as talking points anymore. You got to fill up the space somehow. Well, life sucks. You shouldn't have done what you did in Kuwait.
Cat until I could see Julia again. And so I was like,
she's not going to see Julia. There's no way that she's going to pay $2,000 to have Julia shipped to her. And honestly, even if she had the money, y'all, would it be a good decision? Nope. Because Smokey's there. And if she's saying to everybody, I don't have it in me to take care of Smokey, it's not going to be the same with Julia. All right? If you can't take care of a local cat, Foodie, and you're struggling already, that even if Julia were shipped to you, what's going to happen with her? If there was anything in you that was human, you would say to yourself, I'm just not in a position where any pet would be good with me. I need to focus on me. And then if I focus on me and I get strong and I know what I'm doing, then bring in an animal. But establish first, I can take care of myself and I'm going to be here for quite a while before I bring another living thing in. Because your health is so bad, anything can happen at any minute. And if you bring an animal in, I don't care if it's a cockroach, who knows? Something could happen to you. You end up in the hospital, you have a heart attack or a stroke, gone. And then that pet's all alone and maybe on the street or in a shelter, confused and sad. Stop making messes of your life and making messes for other living things. You hear me? Just cut it out. Stop it.
But what if it is selfish? Like, what if I don't know, like, if I can take care of him in my mental?
You can't. You can't. You won't even go to the doctor and see what your health is looking like. And let me tell you something, Foodie. Most pets, depending on when you get them and how old they are, like most cats, dogs, they live 15, 20 years. Do you have that much time left in you? Do you have another 5 years? Do you have another 10 years? Do you know how long you're going to be here? Can you kind of give an estimate on the amount of time? If you don't know, and if you know for sure that your health is bad, don't get a pet. Because all that's going to happen is that pet is going to be left alone, sad, confused, depressed. And for the record, Foodie, and this is something you should know, there are some pets that get so bonded with their owners that when they lose their owner, they can go into a state of depression just like a person. They stop eating, they stop drinking water, and they will themselves to pass away. And it's sad, but it does happen. So there's that too. You're going to create that scenario with an animal. Would you care? If you cared, you won't cause that to happen. You'll stay away from it. Thank you. All right. So Don't Fence Me In says, how is someone able to edit the items on her wish list? Also, I really hope someone purchased that table for her. We are owed a clip of a piece of furniture buckling and collapsing under her massive frame. So I showed you guys the table and stuff yesterday. I don't think it's a good fit for Foodie. That's my opinion. I really don't think so. All right, let's break up the negative with the positive. Content that'll heal your depression. Finally caught it, but at what cost? So I've heard of this saying, cat got your tongue. But what about a cat got your tail? What is going on here? Is there a story that I should know about? Like, what do you even say to this? Cat, what are you doing? Silly boy. Silly, silly. All right, so Misanthropope Lulu says, Foodie Beauty telling the morons that she's dumping the replacement prop cat. Shocker, not. The chat's response. So the Beezers were not happy. They were not happy, but we'll get into this when she gets into her live stream. I'll show the chat and I'll point out the comments. All right, let's see. Lori Koff says, Ron got himself blocked and kicked off of Foodie Beauty Rage. Thanks for taking one for the team. Well, he didn't take one for the team. Like I said, I don't trust him as far as I could throw him. He's a flip-flopper. He's all over the reaction channel chats. He's in Foodie's chat, gifting memberships, giving her money for food, all that stuff. So I don't trust him. He's a flip-flopper. He's two-faced, but that's just my opinion. Like, maybe he was upset this night. Maybe he was honestly upset. Maybe it was just an act. I don't know. But he got kicked off. But knowing Foodie, she'll let Ron back because he does give a lot of money to her, a lot of super chats, and buys a lot of memberships, and money matters over everything else. She'll look past the betrayal if somebody gives her money, and he does. All right, Lori Koff says, keep informing adoption agencies, girls. Word is spreading. So I guess this is the response from one of the agencies saying, OMG, I absolutely know about her, and our shelter would never let her adopt. From what I saw, she unfortunately already has a new cat named Smokey with her in Ontario. We have adoption fees since we're a nonprofit, so Chantal wouldn't want to work with us anyway. She's something else. Sad for her cat, past and present. Yeah. So word is getting around about Foodie. Word is getting around about her. Let's see. Honey says rehoming a living being is not normal. It is traumatic for the cat, even if it's only been 2 days. Chantal, you are a butthole. Find the cat a home ASAP. I really hope she does. I really hope that she just uses the one brain cell left in her head and does the right thing. Okay, like what else we got here? We could stay here all day with this stuff. As you can see, Girl World is not happy. Twitter was on fire last night. All right, so I think that's it for the Twitter peeps for now. We've already been in an hour. Let's get on with the live stream, and I'll be as gentle as I can. This whole situation has made me mad, but I know that Chantal wants to make people angry. She wants to make me upset, the reactors upset, those of you in the audience upset. She wants us to rage, and she wants to feed off that angry energy. It makes her feel powerful to create that much negative energy. She is like an energy vampire, and she feeds off of negative energy. And Chantal, I know that's what you want, and that's precisely why I'm not going to give it to you. Am I going to say what I'm going to say? Yes. But am I going to go all the way off and maybe say something that's going to get my channel canceled? No. You're not getting that today from me, you twat waffle. No, we're not doing that. So you failed, but we're going to do the live stream. We're going to cover at least some of this. And I know that the animal stuff, it upsets a lot of you. And I'm sorry, but this is what's going on right now. But again, I will be as gentle as I can about it. You know, like try to insert some reason and sense and logic into it because I know what she's up to. But let me just go ahead and bring up the screen. And Chantal did not go on camera. She stayed off camera because she was smoking the vape and God knows what else. And she had the hijab off and was making excuses. But let's see what she's got to say, at least for a part of the time. Let's do this.
Spray coat.
Oh, and before we get started, I'm seeing something else. Looks like your sub count went up again. Were you buying subs last night? It was 107K yesterday. Now it's 108. Girl, you did not get 1,000 subs overnight. Stop buying them subs. They're not going to send you super chats. They're not going to buy your memberships. They're not going to send you money through PayPal. Why are you even buying subs? Make it make sense. Anyway.
Jesse, No Name, Karen, Brooke, Glitter, Shy, Lisa P, Mary Catherine, Walaikum Salam Halima, Red Room, Layla, Jen Joy. Sorry, Amira. Ruben Pizza the best, never had it. Hi Tracy. Janet, Brooke. Okay, I was talking for like 20 minutes. Oh.
See, like I didn't get to watch this last night when it was going on because again, I was busy with other work and I heard about this halfway during the stream. I didn't get to hear the first part of this, but I'm listening right now. And she's coming online to talk about Smokey, and she's starting out the stream giggling like this is all a big joke, like she's trolling. Very suspicious.
Hi, Isapi. No, I will not be turning my camera on because it's too hot right now.
She's probably not going to turn her camera on because if this is all just a big troll, if it's a big lie, she knows how expressive she is. And she doesn't want people noticing the shifty eyes and looking away from the camera and busting her on the trolling. So, of course, she's going to keep the camera off.
So, I have to stay indecent. The cat is... Come here, poor guy. I know. You've been tossed around like a baseball. Hi, baby. Don't knock my water over. Okay, settle down. I feel so bad. I feel like he feels really displaced.
He does. And for the record, I just moved in here. And when I first moved in, of course, Queen Booger was not happy. And I understood why, and it's normal. When you take an animal into an unfamiliar space that it doesn't know, it's going to feel a bit scared. It's going to feel a bit, disoriented. And it will cry out a little bit. But as it comes to understand that this is its space and you are in it and it's perfectly fine, it's safe, the animal will calm down. It'll start to recognize that home is home and home is okay. But Smokey's only been there for 48 hours and she's already mad because he's just scared. The meowing sounds like he's scared and unsure.
It's okay, big boy. He has no instincts as a cat. Like, I showed him a video of birds and chipmunks, and he didn't even seem to, like, know what it was.
I'm sure that Smokey still has his instincts to hunt and chase. But again, it's not going to happen. It's not going to kick in until he feels comfortable with you, with the space. Chantal, it's weird. You want the animal to be an extension of yourself. At the same time, you're not considering how the animal feels. You're not putting yourself in the cat's shoes and saying, if I were a cat and if I were brought to a new space for the first time after being rehomed 3 other times, how would I feel? I would feel scared. I would be concerned. You're not thinking about that. You're like, oh, I could just put on a cat video and that fixes everything. No, it doesn't. No.
You're a good boy. I feel like shit that
You
apartment cats don't really get a good life. Jenna, Deb, Lily, you didn't get a notification, huh?
I don't know where Chantal got Smokey. I don't know who gave her the cat, but I am wondering seriously if she heard about the cat somehow and the fact that the cat had been rehomed 3 times, and maybe that's why she jumped on getting Smokey because she thought, well, if this cat's been rehomed 3 times, there might be a higher probability that I can get the cat because obviously this cat's been rehomed so much and nobody else wants it. So since nobody else wants it, I can take it and I can make use of it. I'm wondering if that was her thinking, that predatory, opportunistic way of thinking.
Did anyone get a notification, or am I going live too soon? I don't know. Hi. Hi.
And I'm glad that somebody in the chat is bringing this up. They're like, did your AC come? Brooke is saying that. Did your AC come? Isn't it interesting? As much as Chantal depends on air conditioning because she's part polar bear, she got the cat before she got the air conditioning. Isn't that something? You would think that the AC would be a higher priority than an animal, but maybe her thinking was AC later, cat now, because I can use the cat to get maybe a free AC unit and other stuff. The grifting is priority number one over there.
Yes, I got the AC. Hi, boy. What's the matter, big man? Sorry, there's a cat here who wants attention. Don't you? I keep wanting to call him Bruce because he looks.
So why don't you give him attention? You got the cat for companionship, right? You want the cat to be bonded to you, right? And he's feeling lost and he's feeling sad. Why not give him attention? Why not take a few days and do nothing but love on Smokey, just sitting here petting him and trying to bond with him a little bit and not be a jerk about it, just kind of give him his space, but just let him know, I'm here for you. I'm here. Everything's all right. No, you're firing up a live stream rather than taking some time and spending time with your new pet. Selfish.
Looks like a Bruce to me. You got one? We're gonna.
He's like a Bruce to me. Chantal, you didn't even have Bruce that long. and Bruce was a kitten, and you took the kitten away from its mother. So what do you mean he's a Bruce to you? In what regard do you mean that? Do you mean, oh, I used Bruce to make money and grift, so I'm going to do the same thing with Smokey? Is that what you mean?
Melt. Well, I did get the AC, and Amber Marie, welcome to Very Important Users, ready, sit in peace. You can collect your arm wiggle at the next cam on. Wait, did you join twice, Amber? That is the most weirdest thing I ever seen. I ever saw. Don't give up on Smokey. I was just watching a video of a big girl cat who looks just like Smokey. Her owner's passed away. Oh, that's so sad. Hey, October girl, Stephanie, Saber. That's really sad. Yeah. So that's why my camera's off. I just don't feel like it, you know?
Y'all noticing that she's sounding kind of stuffed up? Yep. And she can't say, oh, it's jet lag. It's because I just got off the plane and I got a cold. Funny how her sniffling goes away all of a sudden. It happened a lot during Crackhead Olympics. She would say it's allergies, even though she never went outside. And there were other live streams that she did before she moved to the villa. And I found them because all this talk about allergies, I'm like, let me see. Does she really have allergies? It's funny. When she was a bit more healthy, she filmed herself walking around in a field of weeds and flowers, no allergies. Walking around on the side of a road and there's ragweed and stuff on the side of the road, no reaction. Her at BB's house, no allergies. Then all of a sudden, during Crackhead Olympics, suddenly there were allergies. And they only happened after she spent time with Natter. Isn't that weird? Yeah, it's kind of weird. So we're back. We're back to the sniffling. We're back to her sounding stuffed up. And isn't it funny that it only happened when she came back to Canada and she had access to her party favors? Chantal, how many trips to the outhouse have you made so far? Sounds like you made at least one. And if you have, you're not broke because that stuff's expensive.
Hi. Oh no, did you charge yourself twice? You're very vocal. Yeah, I don't mind it. Well, it's a little much sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just having some thoughts, and I really was against bringing it to the internet at first, and then I thought, if nobody was honest about their feelings or thoughts.
It's not about honesty. You are not an honest person. So it's not about, I just want to be honest with people. You put yourself in a corner with this situation by bringing Smokey to YouTube and introducing him to your audience for the purpose of grifting off of him. So now that you're in a corner, you're trying to find a way out by acting like this is the best interest of the cat. No, it's the best interest of you. Because you're getting deep into the food, the party favors, the boredom, the depression, everything. You're getting deep into a dark hole. And you know that if you take the cat with you, it's going to be bad.
Or their expressions based on fear of being criticized. Nobody would ever say anything important or anything that's really on their mind. It would all just be friggin' glazed over, shellacked, fake bullshit. And I don't want to be like that. You know, I want to just fucking say what I want to say. And like, you know, so I'm going to get judged because I get judged on everything. So it really doesn't matter anymore. But I just want to say what's on my mind.
You know what, Chantal? I think that you want to be judged. You do things on purpose to take people off. You want to be judged. You want the anger. You want the rage. You want that negative energy. You feed off of it. If you didn't want to be judged, you wouldn't put things online, would you? You wouldn't deliberately do things to tick off so many people and have them react. You want people to react. You do. If you didn't want people to be mad at you, you wouldn't do so many things that make people angry, period.
Okay. And I'm being 100% honest about how I feel. It's not easy for me to say how I feel right now. I didn't know how this would go. I had a suspicion I would be very depressed being separated from Salah and Julia. And obviously, because I love them, they were my family. And,
They were never your family. They were just props for your show. They were just additions to your show. They were never your family. Salah was a paid for employee. His job was to pretend to be your husband, to go get food for you, to be part of the couples channel. He was paid for his performances. And as long as he kept up his performances, you did pay him. And Julia was just a prop. And if they were your family, why were you monetizing them? You don't monetize your family, Chantal. You don't put them to work. You put Julia to work for you. You put Salah to work for you. Family is family. You don't put them to work like that. You don't treat them as employees.
They are my family.
No, they're not. They're not. And they never loved you, and you honestly never loved them. And that's why it was so easy for you to leave them behind in Kuwait and just think of yourself and hop on a plane and get out of there before the charges hit on Monday. If they were your family, you wouldn't have wanted to leave so fast.
But
I mean, if you have absolutely no regard for your true immediate family, for your mom, your stepdad, your sister, you treat them like trash. You only show up when you need something, or you're in need of money, or you've got a bunch of problems that you created, and you expect your family to deal with every single one of them and compensate for your stupidity. If you treat your immediate family like that with so much disregard and lack of love, what chance does Julia and Salah have? You're not even attached to your own real family. So no, you're not going to get attached to a surrogate family over in Kuwait.
I didn't know how bad I would be depressed and how much the situation I'm in now made me realize how much work. Hi, Teardrop. How much work. Hi, everybody. Sorry. How much work I have to do on myself. And I remember like somebody coming in and being like,
she's getting annoyed. Smokey is just crying behind her. And she doesn't want to get up and, cuddle him and hold him and give him comfort. No, she's busy doing a live stream. She's annoyed that he's crying behind her. She doesn't want people to hear it. All she's thinking about in the back of her mind is how he sounds behind her and how that's making her look bad. And she's like, in her mind, she's going, shut up, Smokey. Stop meowing. It's making me look bad. Like she's concerned about herself, not him.
Come here. Come here. It's selfish for you to get a cat. And now I kind of understand why. It's because I really am struggling right now badly to take care of myself. And then,
Question, why are you struggling to take care of yourself? I'm asking that as an older woman. You're in your 40s. I'm in my almost mid 50s, Chantal. And just like you, I just moved into a new place and I'm going to be getting a whole bunch of stuff and decorating this place and getting it together. And I'm excited to be here. But we're both older women starting over in a new place. You have no responsibilities other than that cat. You have no children. You have no husband. You have no outside the house job, which maybe you should get one because maybe that might teach you some boundaries and responsibilities and manners and all that and rules. It is what you lack. But why are you struggling? What have you got to take care of besides your doggone self? Why is it impossible to fill up your time with positive things and decorating your house and seeing what's out there beyond the door? Why are you making it seem like your life is so full and so difficult? That's the problem. It's not full and it's not difficult. You're making it that way by making excuses and doing this pity, woe is me crap that I am not buying no matter how much you sell it for or how little. I ain't buying it. Even if you try to sell it to me, I would refuse it. Because I'm older than you and I'm getting it together. Why can't you? I'm not buying your shit. No.
You know, I thought another thing is also like, I think I wanted like a rebound cat. I know that sounds so awful, but like, because I'm missing Julia so much.
For the record, Chantal, rebound anything, whether it's an animal or a person, never a good idea. Never. When you rebound from something and you do it in a negative way, it always ends badly. If you're in a relationship with a person and things break apart, yeah, you're going to go through a period of loss, grieving the loss of that person not being around. Maybe the love is lost, maybe the relationship is gone, and there's a sense of emptiness and sadness. That's normal. You're grieving getting used to someone or a situation, and then everything shifts over. And sometimes people, they bounce right back into another relationship because they want to avoid the space of time, the sadness and the grief, the loss. And they think that another person coming along will fix that, will fill up that space. And all that ends up happening is, if you're in a rebound relationship, as you start to heal, you may come to the conclusion that this person, they're not what you need, and you are not what they need. You were just having them around to act as a band-aid, but eventually band-aids fall off, don't they? The scar may remain, but the band-aid falls off. It can't stay on there forever. And you're just creating another mess with another person who may have been there for you during your tears and your sadness and your sorrow, but you rush things without really getting to know them. You were just trying to get away from the sadness, and then their heart gets involved, and then you're like, what do I do now? I went from one mess to another mess, and now I've got two messes instead of one, and I'm involved somebody's feelings, so I just hurt somebody else by rushing too hard. And you're doing the same thing with an animal. Rather than deal with the loss and the grief as you should in a healthy way, getting therapy, talking to somebody, waiting a certain amount of time, getting yourself together, you're trying to fill up the empty space with another animal, and here we are.
I wanted to mask that with another cat until I could see Julia again. And
do you see what a mess you were creating? So you're over there saying, I wanted to mask my sadness and fill up the space using another animal until I see Julie again. So let's just create a scenario. Let's just say you did see Julie again, but it might take 6 months. It might take a year. So there you are with Smokey, and he's there for you for 6 months or whatever. And then he gets bonded to you. He gets used to having a home. Maybe he's thinking, finally, after 3 rehomes, I have actually found my forever home. And then you get Julia. And then what? Poor thing's going to be rehomed again and confused, like, what did I do wrong? I was there. I was being a big fluffy boy. I was giving the companionship. I was giving the love. Did I do something wrong? It's a mess. It's a mess. Bringing in another cat, thinking, I'm going to get rid of them once I get another cat, the one I really want. You're settling for Smokey. You settle for him because you couldn't get Julia. You know what happens when you settle for things that you honestly, truly don't want? You're never going to be happy. And if it's a living thing, they're never going to be happy. And they're truly not going to get the love they deserve. And then they're going to have to find another home. Awful situation.
so I was like, you know? But what if it is selfish?
It
Like,
is.
what if I don't know, like, if I can take care of him in my mental state? Like, I didn't think that I would be this bad. Every night I just say, tomorrow you'll feel better. It's new for you. And it's like, I'm being honest, I'm not adjusting well at all. You know what I mean?
Is it because the party favors? You're doing a lot of party favors. Your intake is getting worse. You're spending all your money on that and food. Maybe that has something to do with it.
But I've only had him, this is the second day. So it's not like going to be super traumatizing. The person that had him had to get rid of him no matter what. Like, she was, and I feel really bad for him about that. Like, like, he's so sweet and everything. It's just, I'm just having thoughts. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Give it a few more days.
The Beezer's already starting to revolt. Torn Pantyhose says should have never gotten that sweet cat. Agreed.
Mm. Well, sometimes you don't know how you're going to feel when you're in the situation.
Here's another one. MCI says cats aren't toys, Chantal. No, they're not. No, they're not. If she wants something to cuddle with, she needs to get like a stuffed animal. Just get a big old stuffed teddy bear or something and hold on to that at night. And won't have to worry about feeding it or changing the litter box or anything. Get a stuffed animal instead, Chantal.
You know? Maybe he deserves a better
He does.
home than me.
He does. He absolutely does. So why aren't you on the phone immediately calling up an organization and saying, I have got this cat who is obese, who sprays. Can you please find him a good home for me, like a nice, like a country farm or something, where he can be a barn cat or something and be outside and spray and have freedom and be taken care of or something? Why aren't you on the phone doing that?
Maybe because he I feel like he needs a home because he's so obese. He came from a home like this one. He came from a home where he had to be lazy. Like, he couldn't move. He was in a tiny apartment. There's nothing for him to do. Maybe he deserves a house where somebody has the time and mental capacity and physical capacity and financial capacity to really put him in better health. Like, I was just picturing, like, yes, it's just, what if something really does happen to him? What if he has, like, he's super morbidly obese? What if he needs, like, all kinds of medical care?
There we go. There it is. It took a few minutes to get there, but we got there. We got there. 1 minute, please. Okay, let's keep going with Chantal.
Like, I don't think I can take care of him.
But what I was saying before I got interrupted, now I remember. Sorry. We finally got there. Like, one of the things that she's considering and she's thinking about that she didn't think about at the time when she got Smokey. She just brought up one of the things that she was thinking about. He's an obese cat. He might need medical care. He might be diabetic and need insulin, which is going to cost her money. He might need vet visits, which would also cost her money. So she's thinking about, is this cost effective? Because all she wanted to do was make money and get attention using the cat. But she doesn't want to spend money on the cat. She doesn't like when things cost her money. She likes when things make her money. And there's very little cost out of pocket.
You know? I don't know, Witchy.
Like, she had BBJ and she neglected BBJ badly, to the point where BBJ had all kinds of things wrong with her, which should not have been wrong with her if Chantal had been a halfway decent owner and taken her to the vet and fed her right and brushed her and made sure that her health was good. There was no reason why BBJ should have been in the condition that she was in if Chantal had taken care of her. Like she shouldn't have had the ingrown nails embedded in her foot pads. She shouldn't have had the dirty ears. She certainly shouldn't have had the rotted teeth or all the mats in her fur or the kidney problems. A lot of that could have been prevented, a lot of it, just with simple care and maintenance and paying attention. And because Chantal didn't pay attention nor want to spend money on BBJ, things got just that bad, to the point where thousands of dollars had to be spent to try to correct some of that damage. And now here she is with Smokey, and she's thinking about, oh, he's not in good health. This could cost me money. I don't want to do that.
No, that's the thing. I would never get another pet. Like, as long I have Julia, and I just feel like I'm so depressed that I don't feel like I can handle having, I just don't know how, I don't really know how to explain how I feel. Like, hey, Rosemary's.
So this person right here, Amira Stewart, says you should. He needs someone who doesn't think this, LOL. You should work on getting Julia to your new place. No, she shouldn't. No, she shouldn't. She shouldn't have Smokey, and she shouldn't have Julia. She shouldn't have any pet, because she needs to focus on herself. She needs to take care of herself first. She needs to put all the focus on herself, getting her health together, getting her butt to the doctor and getting blood tests and all kinds of tests going to see what her health looks like. She needs a desperate look beneath the hood to see what's going on there, to see if their engine is running right. She ain't had one in years. What if she goes to the doctor and they tell her, like, there's all these things going on with you, and if you don't take care of yourself, well, you know what happens. You might have a few years left, tops. Then what if she gets a pet? You take care of the pet for a year or 2 years before something happens, and then the pet is alone? No, you consider how you are. You consider how much time you might have left on this earthly plane, and how much time the animal may have left, and what's going to happen to them if something happens to you. She don't think that way, and she should. So no, she shouldn't have Julia, nor Smokey, nor any other animal, because she doesn't know what's going on with herself.
I thought for sure that I would want a cat, like another cat. I didn't know how it would feel.
Why don't you consider how the pet would feel? You don't consider that. It's all about you, you narcissist piece of crap.
I'm getting Julia, so that's why. Yeah, which you
You're
can.
not.
You guys can.
You're not getting her. She's gone. Salah is gone. You are not getting Julia. There might be a case where you're talking to Salah right now, and he may tell you, Chantal, I need $2,000, whatever, to ship Julia to you, and you may send him the money, and he takes the money and runs. If I were Salah, that's what I would do. Knowing your history with animals, I wouldn't give you the cat. I wouldn't ship the cat over to you. Shipping a cat from one country to another is already really, really stressful. A 13-hour flight with an animal? Are you kidding me? By itself? No, absolutely not. No. Best thing for Salah to do is to take the money and run if you do send him money. You're not getting Julia back. You shouldn't. You can't take care of Smokey. You can't take care of Julia. You don't need any pets, Chantal. None.
I don't know. It's like, hold on.
Yeah, people are asking in the chat, how are you getting Julia? How is this possible? It's not like she's in Kuwait and she can grab a cat carrier and bring Julia with her on a 13-hour flight, which is terrible for an animal. That's very stressful. Preparations have to be made, and she's not going to be the one to do them. So how would Julia get to Canada? Who's going to bring her over?
Okay. It's like, honestly, I feel like, no, I haven't made up my mind, but
And this is a terrible idea. Rosemary's Baby's mama says, give Smokey to Pete. No, absolutely not. When he had Timbit, he did not take care of Timbit. He doesn't want Smokey. He's another one that can barely take care of himself. He's renting a room. He doesn't have much space for an animal, and animals get stressed out when they're in too small of a space. He doesn't have his own apartment. Mentally, I don't think he's doing well. So why would he take a cat that Chantal got and care for it? We've already been down that road. When she was seeing Natter, she would leave BBJ and Sam in his care, and that idiot didn't even change the litter box for 3 months. So do we trust Pete's with any animal either? No.
but I don't know. I guess you guys are not understanding where I'm coming from.
You're right, we don't. We don't understand where you're coming from because most of us are decent, honest people, and we wouldn't like use cats to fill the void in our life and then neglect the crap out of them, nor would we grift the crap out of them for money because we're lazy YouTubers. No, that's you.
Like, I don't want to do this is only day 2. I don't want to do something permanent and get him established in my home and with me and, start bonding if I don't think that that's the best thing. I don't think that I can do it. Do you want me to be, I don't know, like, do you want me to just do it anyway? Like,
Hardcore Goth Kid says your fans tried to say this to you already and warn you. You got defensive and snappy at everyone. Yes, she did, because Chantal wants to do what Chantal wants to do. And even if people are coming forward and they're even trying to be nice and say, Chantal, you really shouldn't do this. It's not a good idea. They tried that when she took the kitten from the park. They tried it again when she was wanting to get Smokey, and she didn't listen in either scenario. And both times she's got in trouble because she didn't listen. She doesn't listen to people when she should.
I don't get it. No, my fans, no, it wasn't that. Most people didn't want me to have a cat because they think I'm an animal abuser, which is...
You are, bitch. You are. Because you left the cats without food. Who does that? You left the cats without food. You were trying to create a situation where BBJ starved to death. And Pete's, he's an idiot for not opening his mouth sooner. He didn't say anything for 2 days. 2 days about the cats not having food. And then he finally opened his mouth and told people in his chat that there was no cat food for the cats. And some nice subscriber postmated over food so the cats could eat. And you were angry about that because you were trying to starve BBJ, because you want to take her to the vet and hear the vet say, put her down. You want to euthanize BBJ. You said that several times, box or bag. We knew your intentions, and thank God what you wanted to happen did not happen. But you are an animal abuser. It is abusive to starve animals. It is abusive to keep animals in a dirty, nasty environment with rotted food, garbage all over the floor, fruit flies, food, mummified food in the drawer, no proper space to do anything, dirty litter boxes. Should I keep going? I will.
It's not true. Cats are very adaptable. Don't feel bad if you can't keep him. Your whole life was just uprooted because of evil people. You do what you feel you need to do.
What? Wait a minute. Stop. Your life was uprooted because of evil people. Excuse me? Pardon me? Come again? Her life was uprooted because of evil people. Oh, Beezers. Boy, do you have it all twisted. Her life was not uprooted because of Girl World. Her life was uprooted because she broke laws. She did. We didn't break them for her. She did. She broke the laws. She accepted donations when she shouldn't have, because that's the law over there. She was doing all kinds of things against the law, filming places, filming people, filming in mosque, all against the law. It just so happened that her accepting donations for a kitten, she got caught. She got reported, as she told people to do. Report me. So they did. Then she got mad because she got reported, because she got put under the microscope, and she don't like that. She wants to do all her shady shit in the dark. And once it came to the light, she ran like a cockroach when the lights come on. She ran all the way back home, scared. So her life in Kuwait, she'd still have it if she had been respectful and followed the laws, but she didn't. You know, you want to act like a criminal, you get treated like one.
Thank you, Wanda. You nailed how I feel, you know? I'm not gonna, like, I'm being friggin' honest. It would be selfish of me to just, you know, hey, Justine. Oh, Flop Hero, like, go fuck yourself. How about that? You're stupid. You're stupid as fuck. A lot of people have pets in their life, like, more than I've had, like, what? I haven't had that many animals in my life. Give me a break.
Haha. Milky Chai just showed a whole list of animals you've had. Way too many in the space of a few years. What do you mean you haven't had that many pets? That's just a list of ones that we know about. There might be more that we don't know about that you had before YouTube.
Break. Like, sometimes it doesn't work out if you're matched with a cat. Like, and no, there's reason. I have my.
No. Stop right there. You were not matched with a cat. It wasn't like you went to an agency, like you were acting as a foster or applying to be a permanent owner, and you were selected amongst many other people. They picked you out. No. You snatched one up off of somebody else who was having trouble with Smokey. He had been rehomed 3 times, maybe because of the spraying, maybe because of somebody else. You saw an opportunity and you took it. You're like, this animal's been rehomed 3 times. There's a great chance that I could get him. And so you did. And now that you have him, now you want to pawn him off on somebody else because you see him as a money sink rather than a money maker.
Reasons, and I think it's just best. The fuck? I've had him 2 days. You're gonna blame me for his whole life trauma?
Right. You've had him for 2 days and already you want to give him up. You're already talking about it. 2 days, not 2 weeks, not 2 months, not giving the time for the cat to adjust. 2 days, 48 hours. He's not cuddling up to you. He's not bonding to you. He's not the perfect cat right away, so you want to get rid of him. Nice attitude, Chantal.
Sit and spin. Yes, I should have Julia back.
No, you shouldn't.
Because whenever I'm reunited with Julia, I'm not going to be here. Did you ever think of that?
Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? You're not going to be there. Where are you going to be? You're going to be traveling? Another reason not to get her. You're going to be somewhere else? Doubt that. Where else are you going to go? Where are you going to go? You're supposedly broke, right? Where are you going to go?
Yeah, I agree, Justine.
You don't even know where else you can go. So if you don't know where else you're going to go and what the space looks like or how much space is going to be there or what the conditions are going to be, maybe not get an animal. Maybe wait until things are more stable.
So if And you can seriously friggin' get bent if you think I abandoned Julia, because
You did. You did. You abandoned Julia and you abandoned Salah. You left them behind in Kuwait to deal with the consequences of your actions, and you ran back home because you know you could. And I'm sure you had that in your pocket the entire time, Chantal, that you thought, if I get in trouble, what's the most they can do? Didn't you say that? All they're going to do is deport me. So you didn't feel afraid to make trouble over there because you knew you had a safe place to run back to, and you did, first chance you got. And the trouble that you caused, well, Salah's got to deal with it. And he's not innocent. I know that, y'all. He invited her into his life and he kept this thing going for 3 years because he was greedy and stupid. And it came back and bit him in the ass. And now he's dealing with the stuff that she caused. And I hope to God he gets online and just reams the crap out of her. He reads her for filth. He exposes all the tea. At some point, I'm sure he will. And maybe that's another reason why she's flipping out, because he's in another place and she can't control his mouth the same way she can't control her mouth. And if she's still giving him money, the moment she gets stupid and she spends too much money on edibles and party favors and natter, because you got to know money's going that way too. The moment she misses a payment, he's going to say, well, there's another way to make money. I'll just go online and talk about what I know. And she don't want that happening. She wants all of her secrets protected. And believe me, she's got a lot of them and she should be afraid.
You don't know the shit we had to fucking do, okay, to keep her in our life when traveling all over the place and in friggin' last minute crisis. Sorry, but we're not getting rid of Julia. She's our child. And my heart is broken that I'm not with her, and I'm so depressed, and I don't want to be bothered by anybody or anything. I just want to like be depressed in bed till I can see them again. I don't even.
Well, that's a positive plan, isn't it? I just want to be depressed until I see him again. And how are you going to get things done in that depressed state of mind? When you're, Chantal, I've dealt with depression and it sucks. It sucks. Let me tell you something a little bit about depression. Like I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving advice to anybody. Personal experience from depression with me, because I've gone through it. I've gone through long periods of it. The thing is, we as people, all of us, and I describe it this way. When we go through stressful periods, when we go through periods of pain or sadness or loss or things that don't make us feel good, we all have, to describe it, it's like a room in your mind that if you're stressed out, if you're tired, if you're drained, if you're exhausted, if you're sad, you can go into that room and find a little peace. Just close the door and, just get yourself back together. The trick with that room in your mind is don't stay too long. If you stay too long, you get too comfortable and you don't want to leave. Being in that room too long will trap you. And as uncomfortable as it may be, you've got to leave that room. You've got to get out. You've got to experience things. You've got to make a life. You've got to move past the loss. And at first, it's going to be hard, especially if you're not only depressed, you're introverted. That just makes the situation worse. Like you tend to cocoon yourself. And that's what it feels like. You're in a cocoon and you're doing it to protect yourself, to heal your broken parts. But don't stay in that room too long. And you tend to have a tendency of cocooning yourself in toxic ways, just shutting yourself into a room and staying there, and you don't want to see what's beyond it. And it's not healthy to cocoon yourself and also trap animals in the cocoon with you. Because if you are miserable and if you are sad, all you're going to do is transfer that energy to any living thing that's in that space with you. So you're cocooning yourself in a room with your party favors, and any living thing that has a heartbeat, they're going to feel sad too. And that's what just makes it unhealthy. So As painful as it may be to deal with that space alone, you've got to change it, and you can't bring anything in there with you.
Even care about
all you're going to do is you're suffering, and you're making something else suffer too.
Life right now, okay? And he shouldn't have the cat shouldn't be in my life. You're right. But it's only day 2. I can still find him somebody. Maybe the girl will want him back. I don't know. Sometimes whenever you get rid of a cat, she might realize, oh, what did I do? And then maybe she'll want him back. I don't know. But he doesn't deserve her apartment either. He deserves better.
Well, then you know what you do? You get on the phone, you find an organization. I've heard that there's an organization in Canada that will probably take Smokey. If they hear about him, that he's an obese cat, maybe he needs some medical care, maybe because he sprays, he needs a special environment, they might be able to step in and help.
Look at how unhealthy he is. I didn't even think, maybe he just like.
Yeah, you're an idiot because he's an obese cat and you were over there feeding him human food. Nice, Chantal, real nice. You were overfeeding him to be as unhealthy as you are right now.
You get it together, evil strawberries. You're probably God knows how old fucking on here being an annoying gnat. Just go get a life. He needs a good home, yeah.
Anime says, I think you got a pet permanently. You need to settle yourself first. Not to mention, this isn't even a healthy average cat to begin with. Look at that, Chantal. So that would make 2 people that are hardcore supporters that are letting you have it, letting you know it's a bad decision. So Life with Ron sent a super chat. We saw it on Twitter, and now Anime of all people saying that. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with him. I don't know. I think you got a pet prematurely. You needed to settle yourself first. Not to mention, this isn't even a healthy average cat. That's the thing I say. Like, I don't know. I don't know how we did it with Timbit. Sam was.
Stop right there. Timbit was never yours. That was not your pet. That was Pete's pet that he moved in with when he moved in with you. And poor Timbit never made it out of that room alive. She had feline leukemia, but she was also in very unhealthy living conditions. But Timbit was never yours. And the day that you took Pete to the vet because of her passing, that very night, you were running over to Natter's place because you want to spend time with him. You didn't even want to spend time with Pete and be there for him in case he needed someone to talk to. So that points all the way in the direction of how much you really care about animals and how much empathy you got.
Was getting pretty big too, but I don't know. No, we don't have apartment in Kuwait.
Ooh, was that T? She said, we don't have an apartment in Kuwait, so is the apartment gone? Interesting.
Yeah, I think I definitely learned this because it just doesn't feel right. Like when we got Julia, it felt right. Like I just don't feel good right now. Like I'm so shaken up by like being here. I didn't think that I would feel that way. I was excited when I was packing my shit. Kuwait, I was like, I'm so out of here. See ya. Bye. I was so happy.
And there's people in Chantal's on chat right now. Autumn Moon says, I'll adopt Smokey. And I'm getting a sense of deja vu, y'all, because when Chantal was back in the Canadian Ville with Pete's, and obviously things were not good, the living conditions for the cats were not good, and Chantal was hyper focused on Natter and spending time around Natter, and there were obviously problems with the cats. There were several Beezers that stepped forward and said, I'll take the cats. No questions asked. I'll take them. But Chantal did not want to give the cats to someone who was a viewer. Number one, because she's a selfish woman. She's a selfish, hateful woman. And she has the mindset of, even though I don't want it, I don't want anybody else to have it. And her second concern was, given the state of the cats, how unhealthy they were, all the problems going on, she was worried that if she gave the cats to a viewer, that that person might make a YouTube channel and put her on blast, that they might blab and people would listen and girl world would hear. So she didn't do that. And she thought she was being slick, going to Amy Flowers, thinking that this viewer that's bedbound will never tell on me. And look what happened with FFG. And that was divine intervention, in my opinion. That was a great day knowing that BBJ was okay, that she was finally going to get the care she needed. That was an amazing rescue, and that's exactly what it was a rescue. But people in her chat right now offering to take the cat. She's not going to choose a subscriber because they're connected to her YouTube channel, and she doesn't want to be exposed again and made a fool of.
Happy, and then yeah, I don't know what I got here. I was like, I'm gonna get.
Here's another one. Lily says, if you don't choose me, I've seen 2 other people in this chat that would take him. Right. Beezers, you may have good hearts and you may have good intentions, but you know about her. You know about her YouTube channel. You are subscribers. And because you're here on her channel, she's going to turn that down. More than likely, she'll give it to an organization or a person that doesn't know about her YouTube channel, that's not a subscriber. It's just going to go that way.
An apartment when I get there. I'm getting a cat. Ugh, no, I don't know. I don't really want either. Like, I just don't know what I want. I just want to, like, I don't know.
Okay, I have to point this up because it is something important to note. It's something everybody should think about. Chantal is not just an unhealthy woman with a myriad of disclosed and undisclosed health problems. Let's not forget that she's also an addict, and she's got multiple addictions, none of which are treated, none of which are in recovery. She's not received therapy of any kind for the things that she's addicted to. She's got serious substance problems. She's got an addiction for attention, for men, for food. And again, none of those things have been treated. They're all raging and running around unchecked. And she's a severe addict. And when you get into severe addiction, addiction is a jealous mistress. That she approaches you at first and she looks sexy and appealing and you want to do a dance with her. But over time, she gets more and more control of you. And she slowly starts to take away things in your life that matter: family, friends, money, jobs, you name it. That mistress will take control of and rob you of everything. And if the addiction gets severe enough, you can get to a point with it all where all you want to do is sit in a room and do nothing but the addiction. It's just you and the addiction. The addiction is your only companion. And I feel Chantal is right there at that point. I'm not saying these things to have people feel sorry for her. Just insert that into the conversation because it is true. She's a severe addict. Her addictions rule her life. They dictate her every minute, her every thought. And as long as they do, anything and everyone around her will suffer and feel pain.
And I didn't think I would feel this way about everything. And I feel very depressed. And so it's not going away. Yeah, I have too much on my plate. And I realized that early because I don't want to re-traumatize him. You know, he probably just thinks he's being watched right now. Cat sitter. It's only 2 days. So I have to really think about it because this is a permanent decision. And of course, if I rehome Smokey, I would not get another cat, just Julia, you know?
What if you can't get Julia? Then what? When it hits you that you can't get Julia back, it's not possible, then what? You're going to grab another cat because you feel that void inside of yourself and you think a cat outside of yourself is going to fill it? It won't. One cat is not going to do it. 10 cats are not going to do it. A whole shelter full of them is not going to do it. Chantal, that void you feel inside of yourself, that emptiness, you still haven't gotten it, have you? You have tried so hard to fill the void with so many things: food, booze, chemicals, men, YouTube. The void is not filled up, is it? No matter what you do to fill it up, no matter what the distraction is, the emptiness always comes back. You want to know why? Because if you want the void to go away, if you want it to be filled, you got to reach for the right things for the right reasons. You can't be selfish about it. You can't be self-centered about it. You can't just think for yourself. You can't think about what's just good for me. What is healthy for me? You got to think about what's healthy for you versus what is makes you feel good. You got to learn to be uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable leads to change. Change is important. It leads to enlightenment, which leads to wisdom and experience, which leads to a better life. Hello. Hello, McFly. Hello. You, how much food have you eaten? How many party favors have you done? How many men have you spent time around with? Have any of them filled the void? No. Are they going to fill it? No. So maybe you should stop using those things to fill the void and do it the right doggone way. You think?
Um, because if I keep feeling this depressed, do I have to just wait it out or can I just travel? You know?
Oh my God. Wherever you go, there you are. And your problems come with you. So if you're depressed where you are and then you travel, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to be traveling abroad and depressed, aren't you? Because you didn't deal with the depression like you should. You took that luggage with you and it's there with you when you arrive. It's going to show up with you and it's going to be there in your face. Maybe the solution is deal with the luggage first before you go anywhere.
This, your life, not anyone's on here who cares what anyone thinks. Do what's best for you and Smokey. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm not on here like, I'm just on here.
And you beezers need to stop that. You need to stop reinforcing that self-centered, selfish way of thinking that she's got going on. Just telling her, just think of yourself. Just think of yourself, Chantal. Think what's good for you. How about we expand that? How about we expand that to do what's good for you, what's healthy for you, but also consider other people, consider other living things and how you might affect them with your choices and your decisions. Can we do that? Can we do that? Can we expand the thinking to where you open up the circle and you think about what you're including in your circle and how what you bring around you, whether it's alive or not, it is affected. And think carefully about expanding that circle and what's in it. Let's think beyond the small and make it big. Expand the circle, expand the thinking outward to where you're considering yourself and other people and other things and other environments and making sure you don't cause damage along the way.
Right, teardrop. And I'm just like wanting to like bounce ideas. Not ideas. I mean, like, I want to just vent, okay? For some reason, I don't like talking really to people in real life about this.
And that's the problem. All of your interactions are online. and they're on your channel and they're biased. You want to heal, Chantal? You got to go to people that will give you real help, therapists, doctors, and actually listen to them. And when you go to those people, go as Chantal, not Foodie Beauty. Put the persona in a box and keep it there while you're getting the real help, and listen to what people tell you. Listen. Open up those stopped ears and listen. People in your chat give you advice. You don't listen to them. But even when they give you good advice, you just like, they tell you, go to therapy, go to the doctor. You don't go. You don't go. Even the people that you hate so much, the girl world, reactors, what have we said over and over? Go to the doctor, Chantal. You need to go to the hospital. You need to see a therapist. You need some help. Do you listen to us? No. When good advice is given to you, listen to it. Put your bias aside about where it's coming from and just listen to it and just try following through a little bit. You might get a little bit of improvement. You might. Instead of blocking everybody out and thinking you have all the answers, obviously you don't. You're in over your head with your life. You're in way over your head. And it's okay to say, I'm in over my head. I don't know what to do. I don't have all the answers. We all have moments like that. It's called being human. You're human when you act that way. You're saying, I don't know everything. It's okay not to know everything. Nobody knows everything. That's why we got to interact with others. That's why we got to ask questions and seek out advice and learn and listen. It helps with healing when you're broken. You got to learn to do that.
No. I know. Of course I need to think about it, but I was so like, yes, you know, I made a big mistake, I think.
No, you did. There's no think to this one. You did.
But I'm not sure. I really like Smokey.
I really like him, but I don't like him enough to take care of him. I don't like or love him enough that if he's got health problems, I'm going to take care of those. And if he happens to be a diabetic cat, then I'm going to give him the proper medication. You don't love him enough that much. You got to do more than like something. When it comes to a pet, you got to love them. Love them.
Let me wait for some. No, I'm just really. No, I'm just sad. I don't know. He might have health issues.
You don't know? The owner didn't tell you? Of course you didn't. And you're not taking the cat to the vet to find out. Of course not. Don't want to spend that money. Spend it on takeout all day long and edibles, but you won't take the cat to the vet to see what's going on with it. Typical Chantal. And you wonder why Girl World doesn't like you.
I don't know. He's very obese.
You want him that way. You purposely picked an obese cat and now you're complaining?
For sure, Nikki T. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to talk to them tomorrow. I'm not going to do anything. No, I'm going to see what they want to do. If they want him back, they can have him back, obviously.
Even if they don't want the cat back, considering the way you feel and the thoughts you're already having, it would be in the best interest of Smokey if you went somewhere else. Don't keep him because you can. Keep him because you are committing yourself. You feel fully committed. You know you're going to commit yourself to his well-being and his health. And if you can't do that, let somebody else have the cat, Chantal. Just let it happen. For once in your life, don't think of just yourself. Think about the living thing you have around you. For once, do that. Can you do that? We'll see.
But I don't know. Whenever he comes to me and his cry and he's loving and he's so beautiful, it's not him. You know? Obese cats need vet visits, blood work every 6 months for arthritis and diabetes. Also, priced food is best. That's way more money after COVID. Go with your gut. You're doing the right thing. Wait for Julia. Yeah, you guys, like honestly, like my heart. If you took an X-ray of my heart right now, you would see Julia's face in it. Like that's my. I'm so depressed, and then I see Salah's face every day, and
You know what, Chantal? If you really loved Julia and you really put it in your head, like, I'm going to get Julia back no matter what, I am determined. I'm going to make a goal for myself. I'm going to get Julia back no matter what it takes me. You could use that to your advantage. You could make a positive goal and center all kinds of things around it. You could say to yourself, you know what? I want to get Julia back. So, what does that mean exactly? Well, I'm going to commit myself to Julia and I'm going to make myself healthy as I can before she gets here. And I'm going to make sure that when she does get here, if she gets here, I'm going to have the best environment for her. This environment will be good. I will be good. I'll be able to give her all the attention and love she deserves, but I'm going to make myself good so that when she gets here, I can be the best pet parent I can be, and use that to motivate yourself. You could do that, but the question is, will you? I don't know.
I'm like, why are we worlds apart right now? I'm just like really struggling. If his breath smells sweet. I don't have the mental. I can't even bring my own ass to the doctor for my diabetes. You think I can bring him to the vet all the time for diabetes?
There it is. So she wants the cat, she wants Julia, but she's already saying, I don't even care enough for my own health. Do you honestly think I'm going to take a cat to the vet if I don't care about myself? That's all y'all need to know. That she is a pet parent or want to be a pet parent, that she's not even going to make sure that her health is in order and she's going to be around a while for that pet, enough to take her butt to the hospital, get some tests done, see where she's at, and then make the decision if she should have a pet or not. It's all y'all need to know.
Why did I do this? I didn't even think like shit. Oh, and for whoever like sent me the donations for the cat, I can give them back. That's not a problem.
She's never going to give them back. She is not going to give them back. She's going to put people in a position like she did the last time with a donation. She's like, oh, you donated for this? Well, if you want them back, just message me and I'll give them back. She's not going to automatically refund people as she should. She's going to put people in the awkward position of approaching her first and saying, can I have the money back? And people being afraid that if they ask for the money back, she's going to get mad at them. She's going to use that awkwardness to her advantage. Chantal, you can go to your PayPal right now and refund people without question, but you're not going to do that because you're a greedy fool.
I mean, like especially the one that sent the money for the automatic feeder. I'll return it and refund you.
So why are you doing this live stream saying, I don't know if I'm going to give Smokey back? If you don't know for sure if you're giving Smokey back, like why would you return the money for the feeder? You would return the money if the cat is no longer there. So is the cat there or is it not there?
If I don't know what's gonna happen. Hey, Bumpy. He's just talkative. I have a girl like that, and she talks all damn day. It is page 5. I think it is like it's. I'm just really, really sad. Smokey will protect you.
I'm making a prediction right now. Chantal's YouTube payday is on Monday. That's tomorrow. What are the odds that tomorrow she's going to disappear? What are the odds that right about now she's got plans to see Nads And because she can't see him because she doesn't have the money to rent a car to go to Montreal, because she did talk about a trip to Montreal to go to Orange Julep, which happens to be in Natter's neighborhood. What are the odds that she's going to get her YouTube paycheck, and as soon as she does, she's going to get a rental car, she's going to go to Montreal, and she's going to go party with Nats for 2 days, and he's going to take whatever money he can from her, and then after he's done taking all that he can, she'll come back home, and we're going to know because Chantal won't be able to keep that to herself. You can always tell when she's seen Nats because she's glowing and she's happy, and she won't be depressed anymore. And another thing, there might be another reason why she doesn't want Smokey, and that's because Nads doesn't like pets. He's not an animal person. And whenever she was living with Pete and she had the cats, that was kind of in the way of her being around Nads. So maybe she got the pet on an impulse, but then she thought, I really want to spend time around Nads. And if I spend a lot of time around him, I can't take care of this cat. So I really need to get rid of it. Maybe that was one of the motivations for wanting to get rid of him.
Help yourself and Smokey. I don't think I can help Smokey. I can't hardly help myself. Yeah, so beast cats need a lot of care. No, I have no idea.
On that note, Chantal, you're saying these things about Smokey, but they also apply to you because you are a severely obese woman, are you not? You are, with a lot of health problems and addictions on top of that. So think about yourself for a minute. You are a severely obese woman. You got problems with mobility. You got a bunch of health problems. You got a bunch of addictions that are untreated, unchecked. All kinds of personal problems on top of that too. Like the wall of issues is stacked up high. And yet there you are running around lonely, and you're hyper focused on finding a man to be with you, and yet you're not considering yourself. Why you're having trouble finding a relationship is because whatever man gets around you, you're giving them a whole mountain, literally a mountain of things that come with you, and it's too much. It's just too much. They're like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. You got to reduce the size of that mountain, mama. We all got problems. We all got issues. Some of us may have trauma. But your mountain is extremely high. And you're clingy, and you're jealous, and you're possessive. And you've got stalkerish ways. And you're predatory. I mean, I could just keep going. You get attached, and you don't vet who you bring into your life. You don't care. You settle, and then you wonder why you're unhappy. Stop settling. Work on yourself, and you won't have to. But get it together. Just get it all the way together.
Idea if he has health issues. I didn't bring him to the vet yet. I just got him yesterday. So it's not only that, it's just he might need more than what I can give.
Like you're overwhelmed with the thought of what it would take to care for Smokey. Imagine what other people feel about you with all your issues and the problems that you have that you bring to their table. Just imagine, Chantal, how stressful that is.
And I'm just realizing that I'm really struggling. Super huntress, because I think some people were trying to tell me exactly what I was saying right now. But there's a lot of people who were masking that with a lot of hate. So all I was seeing was the hate towards it, like about, oh, you shouldn't have a cat because you're an animal abuser, blah, blah, blah. So that's why. Reverse culture shock. Yeah, for sure. Yes, I am. My foot checked, yeah. Shut up, Rebecca.
Yeah, somebody in the chat is bringing up something important. So she found this cat and it's been rehomed 3 times. I guess the owner of Smokey, the previous owner, told her that Smokey had been rehomed 3 times. If I encountered an animal that had been rehomed multiple times, I'd be asking questions. The first question would be, why has he been rehomed 3 times? Is there an issue? Is there a problem? Is there something that I should be aware of? I would be asking all the questions I could to find out about the history of that animal before I took it into my care. Does it need something special? Does it need a bigger space? Can it be around other animals? Is that the reason why it's been rehomed so much? Is it an animal that needs to be only by itself? Or does it need to be with other animals because it just functions better that way? I'd be asking questions. She didn't ask the questions. She's just like, cat, home with me now. Dumb.
Rebecca. Wait a couple days if you feel the same. Give him to last one. Yeah, we'll see. Grieving period. Yeah. I'll have to be away from him and her for like, we have our plans, so.
No, you don't. You don't have any plans. And Chantal, you need to stop talking like this. You like to dream out loud. And at the same time, throw a bone to your chat and give them hope that you're going somewhere, you're doing something, you're going to take them on adventures. And everybody knows, everybody's aware that you don't travel. When you go somewhere, you find a room, you shack up, you get some food from the 7-Eleven, and you're done. That's the extent of your traveling. You don't want to see the sights. You don't want to take any pictures. You don't want to taste the cuisine. You don't want to honor the culture or the people. You're not a traveler. You're an arriver. You arrive, you get a room, that's it. You see nothing of the places you go to. So you can sit there and talk about travel all you want. You really don't travel. You just take plane rides and find a room.
But it'll be a little while. Yeah, no, I don't think I should wait. But then again, it needs an adjustment period too. But I'm doing this for him, like, I'm not going to Kuwait.
We know. So if you're not going to Kuwait and Salah cannot come to Canada, how is Julia going to arrive in Canada for you? Who's going to bring her back?
Yeah. I mean, I did think about getting a cat. Obviously, I thought about it. But I am impulsive, yes, but I did think about it. But I didn't know what it would be like until it actually happened.
You're not a first-time cat owner. You've had cats before. So what do you mean you didn't know what it would be like? You had BBJ, you had Sam, you had Julia, who was a street cat. You didn't know what it was like? I'm not accepting that answer.
And then I had thought about it, like seeing what kind of cat he was, realizing how clingy he is. And I have trouble giving a crap about my own life. Like,
So I'm sorry, chat. I'm confused. So she's complaining about him being clingy when she herself is a clingy person. Isn't that what she wanted? Didn't she want a cat to be all over her? And now that she's got it, that's not good. What?
so he deserves better than that. Like, I don't, I didn't think I would feel this way. So, yeah, I don't know, Brooke.
Chantal's broken toe says you knew your life was a mess. You shouldn't have even considered bringing an innocent animal into this. Agreed.
Yeah. So all I can do is just wait for Julia to.
Well, keep waiting. I hope whoever has Julia in Kuwait, if she's in another home, that whoever's got her, that person or those people seeing the state that she arrived and them giving her all the love and care that she needed. And I hope that after receiving said care and love and treatment, that whoever's got Julia, after giving her all of that and Julia becoming adjusted and feeling better and being happy, that if Chantal requests for Julie to come back, they tell Chantal to sit and spin. Because Julia will be established and doesn't need to be bounced around to people anymore.
I don't know. I'm just, I'm not going to let something bad happen to Smokey.
You better
I don't
not.
know what I'm going to do. Yeah.
As sad as it is, I think Chantal being who she is and what she does, I'm actually glad that Girl World is around, that this is playing out on the public forum. Why? Because if this were not public, if she didn't have a YouTube channel, if she didn't put everything out there publicly, if this were all done privately, there's no telling what would have happened to Smokey. But because it's under public scrutiny, it's in the public eye, and people are involved, and people know about Smokey. They know he's around. They know that he's got issues and he needs to be rehomed. That's going to help hold Chantal accountable and not let her hurt or abandon another animal somewhere.
Hey, RX alien. Who's getting Smokey? I don't know. He's okay for tonight, BBJ. Definitely not a show. I'm not a part of him. You gotta get treatment, bipolar. I have so much to do on myself, and I just feel numb. Like I feel like I can't move one foot in front of the other.
Well, stop doing all those edibles, ma'am. That's the reason why you feel you can't move. You got get 7 bags of edibles? That's the reason why you can't move.
Sometimes. Hey, Crafty Gypsy. This is a level of depression that I only experience in Canada. I have depression in Kuwait, but it's a bit different.
I'm not a doctor and I'm not here to diagnose Chantal. I don't know what's wrong with her or what's not wrong with her, but this is just my opinion. I think the reason why she feels so lumpy and dumpy right now is because she is back home and she doesn't have a man to focus on. And she's all by herself and she doesn't have a car right now. And so she just has to wait until payday to go do what she wants to do. Because this is the same way she behaved back in Crackhead Olympics when she was waiting on Natter's phone call. She would sit in her room for days, smoking the green sticks, getting on live, doing everything under the sun to get his attention, just waiting for his call. She didn't get her butt up and clean her house or take care of her pets or go have a life. She just literally sat by the phone waiting for it to ring. And here we are again, same scenario.
Yeah, I know. Of course, your job.
Of course, Natter isn't going to contact her until he knows there's money in the bank that he can get a hold of.
Of course, Cynthia. Yeah. No one should judge you for doing the right thing. I do adoptions at a cat shelter. I tell people if it doesn't work out, bring him back. No shame. Yeah, you shouldn't. Exactly. You have to have the right fit. And for me, I just can't have a pet right now. I realize that, and I won't be getting another one. Like I'm just Julia as my focus. You know, I hope it'll probably be about a year, maybe. I don't know.
I'd say longer than that because you just got to Canada. You're not established. You got a lot of issues to focus on. The smartest thing you could do is say, I'm never getting her back. And that's okay because as her previous owner, I will feel better knowing that she's with better people in a better place who will take care of her. As much as I miss her, I could take comfort knowing that her life is better without me than if it would be if she were with me. I got a lot of stuff to do. I've got therapy to get. I got to go to the doctors. I got to take care of my health. I have to establish my home. I've got things that I can do. And I can focus on myself and get them done. Just don't worry about Julia. She's okay. She's away from you. She's okay. Focus on you, Foodie.
Exactly, Pumpy. Maybe I should just, thanks, page 5. I really should just grind and like take care of myself and just grind for the future.
You should. But from the looks of it, you're not going to grind on anything but your teeth, doing all them party favors. You're going to grind your teeth down the nub if you keep doing that Coca-Cola. You need to cut that out and slow down on the edibles, stupid, because there's no possible way you need that much. Taking hundreds of milligrams a day, doing wheelchairs for what? Wheelchair edibles are meant for people that have serious illnesses and serious pain. You don't have serious pain. You don't have serious terminal illnesses. Therefore, you don't need the wheelchair edibles. Ma'am, calm down with that. Taking hundreds of milligrams a day or thousands is stupid. You're wasting your money. You're wasting it. Okay? Staying numb all the time. You're wasting it. Calm down with that stuff.
Julia's a cloud chaser. She's been in my life for like 3 years now, Julia. She's my baby. It's different with her. For some reason, taking care of her is effortless for me. I have a really
You know why? Because Salah was the one who took care of her. That's why it was effortless. He was the one who changed the litter boxes and whatnot. You didn't do that. You didn't do anything.
strong bond with her already.
You weren't bonded to her. I watched you, Chantal. I watched the interactions between you and Julia. Never did I see her jump up on your lap for cuddles or come to you for attention. The only time she came to you is when you offered her food. That's the only way animals approach you, is when you offer food. That's why you offer the food. You bribe them to come to you. You bribe them to walk up to you and act as if they really like you. They don't like you. They like the food that you offer. And that's about it. Buster, your mom's dog, did not like you. Okay? And BBJ and Sam, they were yours. BBJ loved you. What'd you do? You neglected her. You treated her with disdain. You didn't like the fact that she was a female cat. You hate anything female, even a cat that gave you unconditional love. And all she wanted to do was be near you. Couldn't be bothered because it wasn't a man. Had all the love in the world for a man, but none for a cat that was there for you when you felt bad. Sad, really, really sad.
But Smokey is just not a cat. He's just, I think, too much for me, honestly. Especially at my mental stage right now. She's with her dad. I had Salah, yeah.
Yep. And somebody else is saying in the chat, they're saying, Rose says, Julia was easy because Salah took care of her. Thank you. Somebody else said it. I said it first, but they said it too. They know what's up.
Was his temperament? He cries all night long. And I really like him. He's cute. and I'm allergic more to him. I don't know why. I'm itchy.
You're not allergic, Chantal. You had two cats. You weren't allergic to them. Now all of a sudden you're allergic to Smokey? I don't buy that. I think all your sniffling and rubbing your nose is something beyond the cats. And it's strange how all that sniffling stuff is periodic. And your allergies, where are the red eyes? Where are the watery eyes? Where is the sneezing? I don't hear none of that. It sounds to me like you're stuffed up from the Coca-Cola that you've been doing or whatever else you've been doing that you should not be doing. Has nothing to do with the cats. And if you know you have an allergy to cats, what are you doing getting cats, dum-dum?
No, it wasn't because of that. I took more care of. I did more. Trust.
No, you didn't. We never saw you do more. And of all the hauls you did, I never, ever, ever in the history of Foodieverse ever saw you do a pet haul. Like a whole bunch of stuff for your pets. Never in the history of Foodieverse have I seen Foodie Beauty do a pet haul where she's like, hey guys, hey guys, hey, look at this huge pet haul just for my pets. We got 2 new cat trees. We've got several bags of kibble dry cat food. We got 2 cases of wet food. We got toys. We got this. We got that. Never did I see that. Her hauls only revolved around her, never her cats. Didn't do a pet haul for BBJ and Sam. Never saw one for Julia. Barely bought anything for her pets.
Me, okay? He did too, but I did more.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I feel guilty getting a new cat because I miss Julia. Yes. I feel like, come here. Come here. Come here. I'll pet you. You want to come here? I think his cries are cute, but he needs an established home and he needs the right fit, the right person. Thanks, page 5. Yeah, I really did. I really been through it and I don't know, I'm not dealing very well right now. I really just am not, you know? And I don't know. It's affecting my life, it's affecting my content. Not that ever, I just
Me. It's affecting me. It's affecting me. It's affecting my content. Me. Screw you. Screw you. You're putting all the blame of your content being affected on a cat. Are you for real? You know what's really affecting your content? Spending too much money on edibles, doing them all day long, coming on camera talking incoherently, and you're so high that you forget what you're saying. That affects your content. That and the fact that you really don't want to work on said content. So let's put all the blame on an innocent animal that's only been there for 2 days when your content's been sucking for months, way before Smokey showed up. So try again.
like 7 years on YouTube and I haven't really done anything very, you know. Yeah, I'm itchy like on my hand where he licked me. His meowing is just talking. No, I know. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. No, he's not spraying. I promise. But I don't know. I really do like him already. I really do. So I feel bad. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, I'll be nice to him, of course. I've been showing him a lot of love. Yeah, Dolly. Maybe it's not meant to be. The bond isn't there like with Julia, yes.
Ma'am, it's been 2 days. You don't get a bond after 2 days. Idiot. She's so stupid.
Thanks, Layla. Appreciate it. Yeah, I know, Del. I feel really bad. I know. Exactly. uh, Such a mess. I know, and watch reactions. I done told you. Ooh.
Didn't we though? Didn't we tell you? You're mad because we told you so. And we've been saying we told you so. And we warned you. We said you should not get a cat. And even your chat said that. And you didn't want to listen. So because you didn't want to listen, now you got to deal with the egg on your face of people saying I told you so and have to hear that. Because we were right. People in your chat were right. The reactors were right. Girl World was right yet again. Just as we were all right when you were about to take the kitten out of the park and people told you don't do that, and you did. You did. If you don't want to hear I told you so, open up your ears. Listen next time.
No, there's no wish list. I don't know what's going on with the wish list. Fuck it. Hey, Serena. Growth? Thank you, Susan. If you feel relief. I don't know. No, it's not Cat's, Pizza's parents' cat. Oh. No, the thing is, it's not selfish. You know why? Because I wanted to get in return. A relationship is a two-way street. Okay.
Oh my God. She did not just say that. She wanted a relationship with the cat. You are projecting so hard on animals, on that animal, in this moment, that animal. You're projecting so hard, talking about rebound, talking about relationships. Ma'am, ma'am, are you in a place where you can have a healthy relationship with any living thing? No, because first, you have to have a healthy relationship with yourself. If you don't have a healthy relationship with you, you're not going to have a healthy relationship with anything else either. You're not. You can't.
Okay. So, thanks, French fried phone. Um, I would be giving him, if I have the cat, I want to give it the best I can, and I can give, like with Julia, I effortlessly just could give her anything, tons of love, tons of care. But my mental state has deteriorated a lot, and I fell down. And I'm just depressed, being stuck in here, and my depression is out of control. So it's not this.
So, coming to the internet and talking about how you feel, and you've been doing this for years, Chantal, you use your own chat as your therapy. You've been doing that for years. Has there been any improvement trying to treat YouTube as therapy that other people pay for versus real therapy that you would have to pay for? You're trying to use people in your own chat as your therapist, but they can't help you the way that a real therapist could. Because a real therapist, you sit in a room with them or you get into a session with them and they're going to cut through all the BS. Because in order to help you, you got to get real. And that's the one thing you got trouble with is getting real. But if you got into a private space, you could talk about all the things that are going on and get some real answers and some real advice from somebody who's got an education and a degree and start to heal. But you don't want to heal. You want to stay broken and profit off of all the broken, including the broken that you inflict on other living things. And that is your content. Pain is your content. Suffering is your content. If you were just a normal person with a normal life and you weren't some overblown caricature of yourself, what would there be to talk about when people talk about Foodie Beauty? Would there be anything? Would there be any interesting elements? I don't think so. Why? Because you never bothered to create them. You've always relied on other people and distractions and party favors and wild behavior to get the attention, to keep the spotlight on you. You're more focused on going viral and being somebody on YouTube than you are about what is a healthy life for me? What works for me? What's good for me? So many years spent on the wrong things, which has led you to where you are and how you are. And you're not even looking at changing things, switching things, shifting things around to where the focus is different. Sad.
The same like bond, and I just don't know if I can take care of him. I don't know, like
Yeah, exactly. Telling the truth says relationship, two-way street. With what are you talking about? She's talking about animals and looking at animals the same way that she talks about people and looks at people in her real life. She's projecting again.
yeah, he has food and water, man. Yes, I want the best for him, yeah. I don't think he should go back to the previous owner. I'm gonna offer anyways, but he
I don't think he should go back to the previous owner. And from what you said, Chantal, I don't think he should either. That's why you make a phone call and find a no-kill shelter or an organization. I've heard there's one in Canada. Find out who they are, talk to them, and they can help you. If his living situation where he was less than ideal and the person wanted to be rid of him, I would be contacting somebody else.
he would just sit on the floor all day, no stimulation. The laser, I have a laser pointer. He was like, "What is this? Catnip. What the heck?" I don't think he was stimulated very well. It's like a person who just physically couldn't care for him, basically.
And so you saw the home that he was in. He didn't have a lot of stimulation, and yet you're someone that you're not that person that you're going to make a point to stimulate your pet, play with them, see to their needs, and you thought it'd be a good idea to take him.
Yeah, Pumpy. Reaction channels are too dumb to understand. You're telling the truth what you're meant to say. Yeah, thanks, Nicole. I think you need to settle into your home and let things land in other areas. Yeah, I know, Nina. That's the thing. I'm really like, I'm not trying to disappoint anybody. I'm not like, I know. I want him to have, I feel so bad. Honestly, I do. Oh, he's scratching my bed.
This stream had less to do with I feel bad. I brought him here and it's not ideal for him nor me. It had less to do with that. It had more to do with I brought a cat into my life and I can't just dump him on the side of the road. And I'm concerned about how that's going to affect my channel and my views and my Google AdSense money. She's thinking about herself. And she knows that anything animal related on YouTube, it tends to blow up. People get outraged, they get angry, they're confused, and they're like, what is this? You brought this cat into your life and now you're letting it go. She doesn't want the backlash and she doesn't want to face the consequences again of her actions. So this is kind of like a buffer of like guys making excuses all day long, blah, 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 because she doesn't want people to leave her channel and stop watching her lives and stop sending her money.
That's okay. I really like him. I don't know. Smokey. I don't know, Triumph. Yeah. I've only been here a few days. Yeah, you're right. I rush things. I do. I'm very impulsive. I hate it. Hey, Mike.
So this person, Jordan Lewis, says, I'm so sick of all the cat content. I'll tell you what I'm sick of. And I've said this in my videos and also in a live. I love animals. I do. I have respect for animals. Sometimes I like animals better than people because sometimes people suck. They, am I wrong? But what I'm sick of is toxic animal content from Chantal. I am sick to death of her purposely triggering people to get negative reactions out of people, stressing people out, making people angry in the community. That's not why people come to YouTube. They don't want to come to YouTube and watch a live and get stressed out and worried over an animal that they can't help. And they're worried, like, what's going on with that animal? Are they okay? I'm sick to death of Chantal using animals as pawns to make money and to get a reaction out of people. There's other ways to make content. There's other ways to make money. There's other ways to get attention. And she's just too lazy to find out what those ways are. She's falling back on using innocent animals to get something out of girl world. She hates us, but yet she literally goes out of her way to make us angry. And I'm going to go on record as to saying to all of you, I hate this. I hate her doing this negative animal content just because it is so upsetting to so many people. And the upset right now is everywhere. It is so painful for so many people. And it's just like, how many times are we going to go through this? How many times is she going to do this? How many? I mean, as a community, we're not going to stop caring about animals. We're just tired of her using animals in a negative way. She needs to cut it out. Like people sometimes can't watch reactions to Chantal or videos of Chantal because of the negative animal content. That it's just it flips a switch inside of them, and then it blows the circuits, and they can't deal with it. And I wish she would just stop it. Stop it, Chantal.
Yeah. Right, Wanda. Had a cat went to yell like a man for a day. Oh, DNT. He's chubby. Well, I thought the laser would get him running, but I don't know. I guess I told you guys because I was wondering if my feelings were valid. Like, not
No,
valid.
you weren't. You were putting your toes in the water to see how hot it was, to see if you would get in hot water, if people would leave, if they would freak out on you. You were concerned about yourself, your channel, and your income because you need that income to keep all of your addictions afloat, alive, and going. There, I said it because it's true.
Valid, like understandable. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, Saba. Chantel, let's get on the schedule. Thanks, Purple Glitters, gel mattress, bed bug. What? Yeah, that's what I need to do, Rosemary's, eh? Yeah, Nina. But oh, come here, you. Hey, thanks, Teardrop. I know, Dream. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, yeah. It's too much.
Some of you beezers crack me up. And Inspiration says, I mean, you are an intelligent person. Why do you choose to be irresponsible? Because she's not that intelligent. She's not that intelligent. And she is irresponsible, and she's chaotic, and she doesn't need to have animals with her.
Good comment.
Obviously, guys, I can't react to this whole thing today. And I'm not going to break it up into like part 2, part 3, part 4. Like, I'm just going to get what I can out of this. Try not to make the reaction too terribly long. I'm not going to have like an 8-hour reaction, but do I really need to react to all of this? I mean, you guys are getting the gist of what's going on here. She's just trying to do the, what do you call it? Like Not counterattack. What's the other thing? She's on the offensive right now. Like she's putting up a shield of like I'm brace yourselves, chat, brace yourselves. I might lose Smokey. I'm not just going to hit you upside the head with it all at once. I'm going to ease you in slowly to the idea so there's no backlash for me. A preemptive strike. That's the word I was looking for. A preemptive strike.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and to be someone that's not on the internet. But anyway.
Yep. See, she just said it. If she gives Smokey to someone, it's going to be somebody not on the internet. Because she doesn't want that person making a channel and talking about things. She wants to keep her secret secret. But if she were an animal lover, as she claims to be, she wouldn't care if Smokey went to somebody that she found in her chat or not. Because at this point, there's nothing to fear. She's only had the cat for 2 days. The cat's not been with her for weeks or months or years. There's been no time for anything to really happen. So where's the fear coming from? Why would it matter if it's a chat member or a beezer or a non-beezer getting the cat? I would think as a pet owner, your priority should be, I'm going to find the best fit and the best owner for this pet. If I can't keep them, I'm going to do my due diligence to make sure they go to the best person, whoever that person is, wherever they're located. If you care for animals, that is what you focus on, not if they're on the internet or not.
No, I'm not giving it to Courtney. I said no internet people.
Why? What are you afraid of? You're afraid of something. What are you afraid of? Did you do something to Smokey? What are you afraid of?
Hey, Desiree. Yeah, I acted on impulse. Yes. No, because I didn't. 'Cause since Kuwait, I wanted a cat. Well, 20 days is not impulse for me. But yeah, kind of. Bruce was before my time.
I'm going to bring up something that happened a long time ago. Because, again, different people jump into the foodie verse at different times. Some might have heard this. Some of you may not have heard this, but back when Chantal was in the Canadian villa, she made a statement. When people were asking her to take BBJ and Sam to the vet, to take them to the groomers, to get their nails clipped, all that, you know what she said? She said, I'm not taking my cats to the vet just because it ticks off my haters. She actually said that. And she meant it. Like spite and spiting strangers on the internet was so intense and so severe that she was going to refuse care for her pets just to spite people that were not in her personal life. Like off camera, even though nobody could see anything, nobody's there, just to tick off her haters, the people that were holding her accountable and just wanting her to do the right thing. Out of spite, she was not going to do the right thing. And that is her attitude when it comes to animals. That her priority is spiting people and making them mad, and taking care of animals is not on the priority list. So someone like her should never have pets, ever. If that's all she cares about is spite and anger and negativity.
Do what's best. Let's teach this. He's cute, but no. Who? No. I will. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'm talking to the owner tomorrow, and I'm going to suggest that we find it an even better home. But I'm not sure. Because I feel bad because he's so cute and friendly.
I really hope that Chantal doesn't hold on to Smokey strictly for the reason she doesn't want backlash from her viewers, because that's not going to be good enough. He's going to need a lot. He's going to require a lot. He's not happy. She's already not happy with him. Just holding on to something just because it's cute, not good enough. Definitely not good enough.
Yeah, about 20 days. And I already feel like I've been a lifetime.
I mean, you can hear her. She's already over it. So if you're over it, do something about it. Do the right thing.
He needs a home with like someone in the who can like run with him in a yard, put him in like swimming lessons or some shit like that. Somebody who can like has the time and money and everything. Miss Movie Buff, thank you for the crying burger. Oh no, what is that? Crying emoji. I know. Trust me, I feel bad. It, Jesus, cats are not some shirt you can leave on the floor and ignore or just return because it doesn't fit. Totally see what they say now with you and animals, poor cat. Wow, okay.
So I think that the super chat from Life with Ron got deleted because I didn't see it pass by on the screen, and we saw the screenshot on Twitter. So she read the super chat from Life with Ron, and it really ticked her off. I mean, it really got under her skin. And I think the reason why it did was not just because of what he said, but because he's been a long-time supporter and given her a lot of money and bought the gifted memberships. So it struck a nerve that this longtime supporter was saying these things to her, and I'm sure she wanted to go off on him. But in the back of her head, she's thinking, hold on a minute. He gives you a lot of money, and he may be mad at you right now, but if you completely pop off on him, no more money from him. But it made her mad.
It's been like day 2. Being dramatic much? I'm sure it happens where people are given a cat and it just doesn't work out, you know? Okay, so I'll keep the cat and yeah, it's fine, whatever.
With that attitude, you shouldn't have it. Fine, I'll keep the cat, whatever. Wrong attitude, really wrong. Keeping it out of just resentment, no, ma'am. Nope.
Like so dramatic. I know you're looking for a reason to go kiss the reactions asses. I get it. I get it. They're more popular and you're not authentic. Bye. So basically, again, the cat doesn't deserve a good home. Okay.
I'm actually afraid for Smokey now because people in her chat aren't happy. One of her biggest supporters is gone, or she just ticked him off and she's telling him bye. Like, I really hope she doesn't like transfer and project that resentment on the cat, like looking at Smokey like, you're the reason why I'm losing subscribers. And you're the reason why I just lost one of my biggest supporters who gave me money. Oh God. Chantal, rehome the cat now, please. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody knows how I feel. Like, you guys have no idea what it was like. It happened so fast.
You know what? Before you even get into your little sob story, before you get started with the fake alligator tears and woe is me, let me just cut you off at the pass real quick and say this. I'm going to tell you the exact same thing that you told Pete that night when Timbit passed away. Do you remember what you said? If you don't, because you're too stoned, let me remind you. I am not responsible for other people's feelings. I am not responsible for other people's mental state. Those were your words, Chantal. When other people were holding you accountable and roasting you over the fire because your BFF of so many years since high school had just lost his pet and he was dealing with depression himself, and you should have been there for him, what did you say? Because you want to go see Natter and people were all over you about that. You were on the defensive and you said, I am not responsible for other people's feelings. Well, guess what? We are not responsible for your feelings either in your mental state. Your mental state is your responsibility. And if you care, you'll do something about it. And if you don't, then you won't. And it's just that simple. It's up to you to take care of you. It's not up for the internet to take care of you. Capiche? Thanks. So, before you start with the sob story, which I really don't want to hear and I really don't want to care about because that's your life and not mine, and you've lived your life the way you have, and you're arriving at the consequences that you brought upon yourself. You don't know what I was going through. You mean what you were putting yourself through, because that's the real story. You were putting yourself through things. Every decision starts with you and ends with you. Every decision was executed by you, which led you to the point that you arrived at. And if you don't like where you arrive at, then don't get the ticket punched. Don't do bad things and then get surprised when life comes back around and gives you a spanking. You don't want the spanking, and if it hurts too bad, avoid it by making good choices and good decisions by thinking about what you do before you do it. So, are we understood now? I really hope so.
People messing with your fucking life, with your family.
No. We did not mess with your life. You messed with your own life. You did. Miss, I don't want to be accountable and I don't want to look in the mirror. You messed with your own life by having a mess in Canada to start with your taxes, which you could have taken care of if you just kept yourself in Canada and taken care of your responsibilities and not sent Salah $9,000 to escape your taxes. You created that whole mess for yourself. It started with you creating a mess and then running from a mess and then going to Kuwait and creating another mess. And now you get a mess in both countries. Congratulations. You're an international mess maker. You're an international dumpster fire, on fire as we speak. You did that, not us.
So you have to leave the country very quickly. The next day, you have to leave your home you've been at for 3 years. Move somewhere alone.
Aw, poor thing. I created a whole mess for myself, and because I broke the laws, I have to flee. Feel sorry for me. Well, if you didn't break the laws, you wouldn't have to flee nowhere.
Depressed as fuck. You miss your family. And it's still sinking in. I'm still taking it all in. And I thought that I want a cat. Like, I don't want to live without a cat.
Well, you should. You should live without one. You should. You want to talk to us about, I've changed. I'm a better person. Prove it. Prove it by being a sensible adult and understanding like certain things are just not meant for me. If I bring in a living thing around me, it's just going to hurt. Show some sensibility and do the sensible thing and take care of your business before you expand your business out to living things.
But I'm realizing that the responsible thing to do is not have one right now because I'm not well. So if you want to shame me for that, go fuck yourself. Seriously, just get...
I'm going to shame you for being an irresponsible, overgrown, 41-year-old twat waffle toddler, making messes, causing pain, causing suffering when it don't need to be at all. I have no sympathy bone for you, Chantal. You want to know why? Because there's a lot of people in the world right now, good, decent people who don't run around hurting people and causing problems and making a mess, and they work hard and they scratch and they bite and they fight for everything they have. And you ungrateful, privileged brat, you were given a huge cup of fortune. Huge. and you wasted every single drop. If you had just applied even half of that fortune to being what you should be, you'd be happy right now. You'd have so much right now. But life gave you a cup of fortune and said, do what you want with it. And you did. You wasted it. So excuse me the fuck over here if I don't feel sympathy for you. If I feel no sympathy for someone who was given so much in so many ways and chose to squander it all. And then turn around and complain because you got your big handout wanting more and you're not getting more. You got what you got and you wasted it. And you find yourself at the impasse where you are alone and nobody can help you. You can't find a single person to give you money, loan you money, give you a free place to live, whatever. Life sucks, doesn't it? Yeah. Sometimes you got to work for what you want. You got to work hard. But hard work is not a bad thing. It can teach you something.
Get the fuck out of here. If you just want to shame me when I'm going through a really fucking hard time and you want...
Oh, shut up. Somebody call the ambulance. We got a patient. We got a patient. Somebody call the doctor quick.
Want me to drag a cat into that? He's been here 2 days. If he finds a better home, so what? Oh God, already. Foodie Beauty, change your mind about Smokey? Like, you people literally make me want to fucking, I don't know. Like, who gives a shit this much about something so ordinary? Like, I can't even live my fucking life. I'm seriously so close to just getting a goddamn job.
Do it. That would be content. Film it. Get a regular job. That would be amazing content. I support that idea. Anybody else support that idea? Chantal getting a job? Let's see it happen. I want to see her working. I want to see her underneath a boss who's riding her like a donkey and saying, you got a schedule, man. You got to be here early in the morning and you got to be here till the evening and you've only got 30 minutes for a lunch break and you got to deal with coworkers and you got these duties to do and you got to do them or else you don't get paid. Oh, please make it happen. Please make it happen. She needs some structure in her life. She needs to learn what rules are. Make it happen, Chantal. That would be amazing content for YouTube. I support and vote for that.
Seriously. I'm literally doing the best thing for the cat. There's no way we could be bonded by day 2.
Right. You're right. Correct. You're not going to be bonded by day 2, but you're expecting a bond by day 2. Do you see the problem there? You want that cat to be bonded to you immediately. You said he's clingy, so he wants your affection. So why aren't you giving it to him? What's the problem? You're clingy. The cat's clingy. What's the issue? That's not good enough for you, though.
It's not about him being a fucking t-shirt to discard. If I wanted to discard him, you dumb fuck, I would throw him on the road.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what would happen if you threw him on the road and suddenly Smokey disappears without a word? Bye-bye, YouTube channel. Bye-bye, Beezers. Didn't you say long ago you'd be happy with 5 Beezers in your chat? Well, if you did that, you would get that wish. But I don't think you want it. You know better.
Not take the time and energy to find him the best life possible. And that makes me a bad person.
Nah, you were a bad person way before Smokey showed up. And we know it. And you hate the fact that we know it and we point it out. You don't like mirrors. In girl world, we're all a bunch of mirrors for you. And wherever you look, there we are, reflecting you back at you, reflecting your lies, your manipulation, your scamming, your conning back at you. We are showing your own evil, selfish reflection, and you don't like it.
You are dealing with a lot, hun. You will stumble and make mistakes along the way of getting your life back on track. Do what's best for you. We will understand. Do not let people trigger you. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. I'm trying not to. Yeah, Justine. And you'll grasp anything you can. People go away and they put their cat.
And another thing, since we're here, everybody please take note how long ago this stream was. 19 hours ago, almost a day ago. That's important because usually when Chantal rages, within an hour, the stream is gone. Notice that it's still very much up. So does anybody doubt that she doesn't deliberately do things to tick off Girl World, to get the reactors talking? She left this up so we would talk about it, so we would react to it. That's exactly what she wanted. If she didn't want it, she would have gotten rid of it immediately. She raged. Normally she gets rid of her rages. Why leave this one up? Because she needs the views, because she needs the money, because she's poking at Girl World. That's why.
Cats in a friggin' with someone else or have a pet sitter for months. Sometimes, at least weeks. It's been 2 days.
It's been 2 days and you're not even giving it a chance. You chose to fire up a live stream and voice your thoughts and start talking to people. So it falls back on you. Nobody forced you to turn that camera on. You did that.
Of course, a cat and a baby. Oh yeah, they're such the same thing. Wow. Anyway. Hey, Dee Dee. I hate. Sorry.
You know, this stream was one part, what do I do about Smokey? And the other part was feel sorry for me because I'm depressed and I'm going through all this stuff and all this stuff with Kuwait. Like she's mixing in the pity poor me with, I don't know what to do about Smokey. She wants the attention on herself.
What? Yeah, there's some people.
And before you say anything else, Chantal, I just want to point this out as it's coming to my mind. Understand, and you probably will never understand this because you are an exhausting person and you feed off of negative energy. Understand that if you are a negative person and you focus on draining other people, you burn people out. And people around you, whether it's in your personal life or on your channel, if you project too much negativity, you may get attention for it for a while, but you might arrive at a point with those people that they're so burnt out that they have to turn away from you for their own self-preservation, for their own preserved mental state. They have to turn away and they may go away because you've drained them down to nothing. Negative energy is negative energy. And even if you're on a YouTube channel and you're putting out really toxic, severe, negative content, it can drain your own viewers. You're blowing out their circuits. And they may arrive at a point where they just can't take anymore and go away. And they've got to relax and they've got to recoup because of you. So focusing on the negative stuff, the triggering stuff to make you money, it might be counterproductive for you.
People who just like don't even listen to me tell the whole story and they're like, That's so wrong. Like, shut up. You don't know. You're not in my shoes. I'm sorry, but if it was anyone else, people would be understanding. Like, if it were me, like, I would want a cat to be with someone who's a right fit than not be. Born in court. I know, but I'm not. I don't feel like the same person I was when I used to live here.
But you are the same person. You're doing the exact same things that you did before you left. You're bringing an animal to you, and then you're going to give it up. And I'm trying to be fair here, Chantal. Explain to me exactly how you've changed for the better. What is different about you? Because I'm seeing everything exactly the same, if not worse. I don't honestly see any positive improvement. You're not taking care of yourself, physically or otherwise. You still got all your addictions raging. You're still indulging in your addictions. You still have the same selfish, self centered, narcissistic, childlike attitude, the immature thinking. What about you has changed? Because I don't see it. And it's not because I don't want to see it, it's just not there.
Like an adoption shelter, yeah. Yes. Yes, I agree, but I have to check it out. I'm really paranoid,
About what?
you know. I don't know what she would have done if but she was the owner was tripping on him and stuff. He lays right in the way and he's big. The United States? No, probably not Saber. I don't think so because my Canadian money. Anyway, he will be very well taken care of either way. Okay? The Christmas nail polish.
Why are people still sending her money for the cat when she's talking about getting rid of it? Y'all make that make sense.
I don't know, Mila. It turns out it's not going to work out. Like, yes, you are.
Okay.
Because you can't.
This statement right here. Sabin Nation says, Chantal, you need to understand that a cat will not fix you. A man cannot fix you. Your family cannot fix you. You need to see a doctor and a therapist. Well said. Well said. She needs to fix herself. She can't expect other people and other things to fix her. No one's going to do the work for her.
Can't comprehend anything. You just automatically go for like what you think happened, and it didn't. That's exactly not that's not what happened at all. Anyways, whatever. Those are just my thoughts. I'm just telling you how I'm feeling, okay? And nothing. I didn't eat. Hi.
Controversy.
Up. Yeah, because people like it's shocking how disgusting and hateful people are. He was not.
Somebody telling you the truth and holding you accountable is not being hateful. You're calling it hateful only because you're such a liar. And liars don't like truth and they don't like people telling them the truth. They're holding them accountable. So, to get around the fact that somebody's telling you the truth, you're going to look at that in a negative light and say, oh, they're just saying it because they hate me.
Not spraying against the bed. No.
Like you labeling people haters is your shield that you hide behind because you know you're doing wrong and you're being irresponsible and you're making things suffer and you don't want to face that.
He didn't. Puts in. put on show so how people don't understand. No, I've proven it a lot of times. Yeah, Sarah Lee. Need a massage? 7 brew coffee? I don't think so. It's beyond that, Ramona. Okay, so just leave her alone. That was how she made a living, being a bully online to a fat people. Sit and spin, Camilla. They treat you like a soap opera. Exactly.
She is kind of a soap opera, isn't she? But Chantal wants to be a soap opera. She wants people to watch her. She didn't, she wouldn't have made a YouTube channel. She wants people to watch her. And again, exhibit A, look at what she's doing to get people to watch and react. So she wants people to view what she's doing. This is not in private.
Is it because Smokey's breath smells like fish? No, it's not about Smokey. Just sit and spin shrimp. Get an ant farm. I'm gonna do what's best for Smokey because I care. Not because I just want to discard him like a t-shirt. But thanks for trying to make me feel more like shit, Ron. Some fucking friend you ever were. Actually, I had to like
Well, you know what, Chantal? When you have a true friend, they're not going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. If you have a good friend, that friend's going to be dead honest with you. Because that's what friends do. They don't just give you companionship, they tell you the truth. And they do it because they care. They do it because they honestly care. But your version of friendship is if somebody's around me, I should only hear good things from them, positive things. They should kiss my butt and lie to my face. That's your idea of friendship. They got to kiss my butt all the time.
I wasn't the best person either. I wasn't supposed to like I'm not supposed to like talk to males, but I mean he's married, so like to the opposite sex. So like I don't know. Anyways, don't feel bad for Smokey. He's better outside of that apartment he came from. He's probably better off with someone else other than me, okay?
Yeah.
So you should be fucking happy. How are you that stupid? Honestly, Gore World, let me ask you. Okay, I want a fucking answer. 1 minute you're reeing and calling SPCA that I shouldn't have a cat. And now that I want to do what's right for him, you're freaking out.
We're reading out because you know your history with animals and you're coming back to Canada and you're snatching one up immediately when you know you shouldn't get one because you're not even established in your apartment yet. You're not even getting some stability. And we know your history with animals, and that's why everybody's on high alert. That's why. That's exactly why. If you have been a good pet owner, Chantal, and had a good history with animals, nobody would be saying anything. Nobody would be upset. But obviously, something is up if people are this upset. There's a reason. There are reasons.
Like, I watch no reaction channels, they spew at you. Yes, Larry. Don't all shelters give yeah, don't they give you a time period to see if it works out? Exactly. IKEA can deliver. Thanks, Tony. Oh, true. Smokey's good. Oh, I didn't see Black Scales. Where? Stop trying to leave us. She can travel, all right. Yes, Burly Dan.
Okay, you know what? This reaction is already long enough. It's like 3 hours and 35 minutes. So I think we'll stop here. I mean, I've gone over my normal time for reacts. I hope you guys don't mind, but I had to get this one before it gets gone. So that's it, y'all. Chantal's over there and she's saying like she's probably going to get rid of Smokey. And honestly, again, I support that decision because she shouldn't have gotten him in the first place. She's not in a place where she can take care of him, and she admits that. So the best thing for Smokey would be to go to an organization or a group or a person that can do right by him. If she rehomes Smokey with somebody else, I think that's actually a good thing. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. So I hope you guys have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.